critics. So I think that there's more going on than that.
Yeah.
I think one factor probably is the increasing interconnectedness of the world through digital media, through technology. On the one hand, we are more connected than ever. We're more aware, as Miles Morales said in the first Spider-Verse movie, you're like me. We encounter people who are like us, who we recognize our tribe. We find the people that we can connect with, and even if they come from very different worlds, if they're very different from us in their background. But then also in the second Spider-Verse movie particularly, it becomes a kind of a metaphor for the particular kind of alienation and loneliness that people experience in the digital age, the loneliness that comes from knowing that there are people out there who are like me, but I have no access to them.
Oh, what a wonderful and horrible point. I mean, that's a brilliant insight, but really a sad reality, isn't it? That
it is very sad, and there's a lot of sadness in the movie.
Yeah, that each of us is a sort of universe unto ourselves now. So other people just seem like a distant universe that I can't reach.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, so you have those metaphorical things going on. Some other speakers here at Gonzaga who have talked about it have connected the phenomenon to the social isolation and other social factors around COVID. And there's also something just about the way that people don't go away anymore in life. In 50 years ago or even 30 years ago, if you had a romantic relationship in your youth, in your young adulthood that didn't work out, and you later married somebody else, chances are you never saw that person again that you had that connection with. But today, nobody goes away. Everybody's still right there, and that makes it much easier to entertain questions about what if my life had gone in a different direction? What if is it? And then that raises the idea of another version of you that's living out that life that you could have led.
Oh, didn't Gwyneth Paltrow make a movie, Sliding Doors, that was kind of like
Sliding
that?
Doors was one that was like that. There've been a number of movies that have pursued, and in a way, every multiverse movie asks that question to some extent.
Deacon Stephen Gradanis is our guest, a noted film critic himself, also now a theology teacher, but an opportunity to get to talk about this multiverse phenomenon. If you want to get in on the conversation, 888-318-7884 is the number, 888-318-7884. Deacon Gradanis, as you're speaking, you talk about the ever-expanding stakes of the Marvel universe, and the stakes become so big that now we need more than one universe to contain them. There's a certain way in which the story almost begins, it seems to me, to be undermined by this scope. But I want to leave that out there and ask you about it when we come back on the other side of the break. Deacon Stephen Gradanis, our guest, right back with more on Catholic Answers Live.
Miss a show? Make sure to catch up by downloading the podcast, available online at Catholic.com.
Underwriting for Catholic Answers Live is provided by Real Estate for Life. Real Estate for Life connects homebuyers and sellers to real estate agents while supporting pro-life organizations. On the web at realestateforlife.org.
You Choose Week is here.
We're Jerry and Debbie from Take Two on EWTN Radio, and it's your show, and all this week it's your topics.
You Choose Week is a week-long Take Two family topics celebration.
You can join the conversation on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie weekdays at noon and midnight Eastern on EWTN Radio, and find us online at take2show.com.
All week, your topics spark the conversation.
It's You Choose Week on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio.
Welcome back. Catholic Answers Live. Oh, the pandemic messed up so many things, and one of the things that we lost track of was these enjoyable Friday conversations with Deacon Stephen Gradanis, film critic and deacon and teacher, and I'm glad to be able to have these conversations again. We're talking about this the the real flowering of multiverses. I don't know how else to say it. There's everywhere you turn, there's a multiverse in movies, in TV. You mentioned Deacon Rick and Morty. So in cartoons I don't know if you're supposed to say cartoons anymore. Maybe that's disrespectful. Animation and everywhere. But you did give the example of the battle against Thanos, and there does come a point, and I think it's the point, and if anybody has not seen every single Marvel movie, just please go out and see all of them before I finish this sentence. It comes at the point where Thor cuts off the head of our great enemy Thanos, and it's meaningless. And so you wonder about all this life and death at a certain magnitude. The significance of the struggles and the stories and all, it just kind of disappears because there's another universe where this is not happening.
And that's a real narratological concern. The concern is, how do you tell stories in a multiverse and keep the stakes relevant? How do you tell stories in a multiverse and create events that people care about? I think that those are really good questions. I do think that there are ways to do it. Whether the MCU is actually doing that is another question. I'll try to make this as brief as I can, an example of how I think the expansion of the MCU multiverse has harmed the sense of moral meaning in events. There's a thing that happens to all of us where in a particularly striking moment of our lives, we sense the hand of what we might call divine providence, or depending on our belief system, fate or karma or whatever it is. Seemingly chance events seem significant. You see it in the first Iron Man movie all the way back in 2008. Tony has survived an explosion. One of his own weapons almost killed him. And then he survived weeks of captivity by a terrorist group. And he has this insight where he says, I shouldn't be alive unless it was for a reason. And this is his motivation for becoming Iron Man. He feels as if, and he doesn't say it this way, but he feels as if the universe has challenged him to atone for his past sins. And that's not the only indication of this kind of thinking, this kind of seeing meaning in events. But then you get to the end of Loki season 1 on Disney Plus, and you discover that the TVA, the so-called Time Variance Authority, which is in charge of preserving the integrity of the sacred timeline supposedly created by these godlike timekeepers, that the narrative behind the whole TVA is a sham. The real person behind the so-called sacred timeline is the survivor of a multiversal war among countless different variants of himself. And his script is the reason that things happen in the MCU. So why did Tony survive being killed by one of his own weapons and then being captured by terrorists? There is a reason. It's just not any kind of higher power. It's this one guy pulling the strings in this as the outcome of this multiversal war. And that takes away an avenue of access to the world of meaning, to the world of God, that previous movies had taken for granted.
I have to say, this brings me to a sticky thing about multiverses in general, which I'm sure that you have meditated or reflected upon deeply, and I'd like to ask you about it. There is a way in which, on the philosophical level, the multiverse is actually a solution to a problem, which is that the universe seems to have a beginning, and anything that has a beginning has a cause, and that would point to God, and that one of the ways that people solve this philosophical problem of the universe seeming to point to God when they may prefer an atheistic explanation is the multiverse. That is, the multiverse is itself a kind of tool to avoid God.
It can be, but at the same time, I would recommend that Christians not be too cautious and skeptical about the multiverse for apologetical reasons. And not just because of the need of the universe to have a beginning, but also because of arguments around what we call the fine-tuning of the universe, or its anthropic coincidences, that we have a universe that's so friendly to life that it can produce creatures like us. Some non-believers will say, well, maybe there's a multiverse and different universes have different properties and we're just the local winner, the lucky winner. And I understand the resistance to that, but also consider this. And I grew up in a Protestant milieu, and I was exposed to the kind of young earth creationism that rejects evolution and says, well, since the universe is less than 10,000 years old, there hasn't been time for the universe to evolve in the way that, for life to evolve in the way that the scientists say. And so what we wind up doing is, in order to defend God's honor, we diminish the scope of his creative self-expression. A universe that's almost 14 billion years old is a more majestic thing in a way than a universe that's just a few thousand years old, even if it means that God didn't personally design each creature in an immediate way, rather than in a mediate way through processes of time. So, and you also look at how our Earth, it has just the right qualities for life among the 10 billion planets that we know about in the observable universe. I don't want to say God couldn't create a multiverse because it makes apologetics a little harder. I want to leave the door open for God to do as much as he wants.
Well, maybe you'll find this comforting then, because I just have negative feelings about the multiverse, and I don't know what that's. It's just a feeling. A feeling doesn't mean anything. It's just a negative feeling, and maybe it comes from that suspicion that it's just a tool. And so I asked a friend of this show, Karin Oberg, who's an astrophysicist at Harvard and also a Thomistic scholar, I said, she's an astrophysicist. I said, is there a multiverse? Is that real? She said, I don't know. And I wanted it to be, no, this is impossible because of climate. And she said, I don't know. And she said, nobody knows. So a little humility is probably very valuable in this instance.
Yeah. I think it behooves us to be open-minded and not to make overly confident statements about the way that we think things are, because the evidence isn't there yet. When, scientific discoveries over the next 10, 20, 50 years, 100 years, could then undermine that position.
So you said you're there in Spokane to give a talk about this. So what was it that you wanted to draw out for your listeners about this multiverse of multiverses we now live in the media world?
So I wanted to look at the phenomenon of multiverses in superhero movies specifically, primarily in the MCU and in the Spider-Verse movies. And I wanted to take a look at how that impacts the moral worlds in which these universes occur. Before the last break, I talked about how I think that the way that the Loki miniseries has explored the idea of the time variance authority and the way that events in the MCU have been scripted up until now is a significant generator of nihilism. So in order for events, one way that events have to have meaning is if we leave room for God to not necessarily to intervene in direct ways, but to allow things to come together in ways that serve his purposes. And if there's a level of management between us and God, then we wind up in what our friend Jimmy Akin has called an epistemically perverse situation, a situation where we don't have access to the kind of knowledge that we need in order to say things about God. I think this is where, I think this is where the Spider-Verse movie right now is hanging between two possibilities. The new Spider-Verse movie, Across the Spider-Verse, has introduced a multiversal policing organization, not unlike the TVA, but this one is called the Spider Society. It's made up of all different spider power people from all different dimensions. And they have this idea about canon events, about the way that the story is supposed to go. And the upshot of it is that our young hero, Miles Morales, has to accept the fact that his father is supposed to die. And he doesn't accept that. So here I think we have a kind of humanism versus nihilism going head to head. And since we don't have the third part yet, we just have to hope that producers Chris Miller and Phil Lord that they will that they know where they're going with this, and I think that they do. So I have confidence in them, and I have confidence that the story is not going to affirm this this canon events approach to things, but will approach the idea that every life has value and that if you have the opportunity to save somebody's life, that you should do it.
I wonder if that is part of my feeling, and I admit the feeling to you without having any justification for it. I don't know why I feel but I never am thrilled when the answer in a movie is a multiverse. I always feel a little bit like, oh, here we go, multiverse. And do you think part of that might be that we do come around, as we do in the Loki series, to a possible nihilism, or a possible where we can't know what's going on. We can't know which thing is right and which thing is wrong. We just don't have access to real knowledge. So I guess do what you want, do what you will.
So this is a very interesting question. One of the topics that, one of the connections that a lot of the speakers here at Gonzaga University at the Faith, Film, Philosophy seminar that's going on right now have drawn out. A lot of them have been talking about multiverse movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once in connection with Kohelet, with the book of Ecclesiastes, and the idea of vanities, all is vanity, and what, because that's a conclusion that is explicitly drawn out in Everything Everywhere All at Once. The idea that as the antagonist, who turns out to be the protagonist's daughter, says, when you put everything on a bagel, and the everything bagel becomes a metaphor, and in its circularity becomes a metaphor for infinity. When you put everything on a bagel, then the truth becomes clear that nothing matters. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie that really confronts this idea head on, that nothing matters, and affirms the idea that the love that we have for one another, that being kind, that sticking with each other through the mundane things of life is what matters. There's a wonderful line in the movie where a version of the heroine's husband says to a version of the heroine, in another universe, I would have really enjoyed doing laundry and taxes with you. And that's the life of the heroine. And the heroine's life in the movie is dominated by laundry and taxes, and the idea that in those mundane things of life, the multiverse has the power to affirm those things, not just to undermine them or take away the meaning.
Deacon Stephen Gredanis is our guest. The number is 888-318-7884. Have you noticed this proliferation of multiverses in media? If you haven't, you'd like to talk about it, you're welcome to call 888-318-7884.
Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations, exalted on the earth.
Helping you grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ. Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Des Moines, where empowering individuals and strengthening families have been the cornerstone of care for a century. Services for neighbors in need include a food pantry, professional counseling, emergency family shelter, and refugee resettlement. At Catholic Charities, lives are transformed and you can be part of the mission. To learn more about how to help Catholic Charities fulfill Christ's promise of help and hope, visit CatholicCharitiesDM.org.
Explore 7 Mysteries of the Faith Unlocked by the Holy Eucharist, Thursday, October 19th at 6:30 p.m. at St. Joseph in Winterset. Catholic Answers staff apologist Joe Heschmeyer will show how a right understanding of the Eucharist is key for understanding both the New and Old Covenants, early Christianity, and your own spiritual life. Plus, view the Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. Don't miss Joe Heschmeyer, October 19th in Winterset. Register now at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory. Caldwell Parish offers services that are unique to the individual while following the Catholic funeral rites. Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Will's Family Orchard. Apple and Pumpkin Fest weekends run September 16th through October 22nd. Apples, gourds, mums, and you-pick pumpkins, orchard fresh food is available, and fun farm activities for all ages. Learn more at willsfamilyorchard.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Paul Martin and Paul Mitchell, owners of Imogene Ingredients. Imogene Ingredients supply specialized feed ingredients for livestock and pet diets to improve maternal and young animal health in both conventional and organic production.
Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. I'm Cy Kellett, your host, enjoying an afternoon conversation with Deacon Stephen Gredonis, who's out here on this coast. Usually we are speaking to one another across the country. Now we're just north and south of one another, and we're talking a bit about the multiverses and all the multiverses in films. Deacon Gredonis is a longtime film critic, a member of the New York Film Critics Circle, and a longtime or for more than a decade, he was the film critic for the National Catholic Register. If you've got questions or you want to just get in on the conversation, 888-318-7884. I want to ask more about these multiverses, but I also want to let callers have a chance with Deacon Gredonis. Tom's in I was having trouble there. I was going Hawaii, but it's actually Tom in Omaha, Nebraska, listening on Spirit Catholic Radio. I was trying to put you in Oahu, Tom. I apologize for that. I read wrong. Go ahead with your question for Deacon Gredonis.
Okay. The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Klein Electric, Catholic United Financial, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Boson the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Ankeny Stadium as we get set for Week 6 of the high school football season here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. My name is Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring. John Chido joining us here in the booth. He'll be on the sidelines later. Beautiful night, windy, warm, but all clear as we have Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. First time these two teams have played in quite some time. You have to go back, I believe it was to 2019. So 4 years ago, this month, we played, Dowling played Ankeny Centennial. Maroons came out on top in that one, but you got the new 2-year agreement, and this is your new district opponent. And Jerry Pizzetti, who is now the all-time leading coach in high school wins in the state of Iowa in football, he and the Centennial Jaguars are our opponents tonight. And Mr. Maindring, glad you can make it up. I understand there's some traffic congestion in Des Moines. Yeah. You made it around that, and Backroads Johnny got up here too. So we're all here and accounted for.
I actually did take the back roads in. I came in from the north. No gambles, just not on the interstate. So we're good. It's a great night.
Johnny?
Matt was smart. I didn't plan ahead and got stuck on the interstate for 45 minutes before I got off and had to reroute. So if you're coming up I-35, get off before Euclid and avoid the traffic accident.
There you go. There's your traffic update before tonight's.
There you go. We have a little helicopter sound first.
Yeah. And yeah, there you go. Well, Dowling, the road team, once again tonight. Last week they played at Roosevelt. That game played at Hoover. And tonight we're up here at Ankeny Stadium. Only time we're up here during the regular season. And it's a turf field, warm night, highs in the lower 90s today, but that breeze is keeping the humidity and everything down, but it's still very warm. And here we are, guys, Week 6. Fall football is supposed to be underway. I'm used to seeing blankets. Nope, it's T-shirts and shorts tonight. And Matt doesn't make a difference with the teams because they've been through this. They started the year in this kind of weather.
Yeah, we were actually, Coach Wilson and I were talking about this afternoon. And the thing about it now when you get heat this time of season is it drops off in a hurry. You know, once the sun goes down a little bit earlier, and that temperature is going to drop, and so it'll be perfect about game time. And little breeze. I noticed there's no flags on the goalposts here, so you can't tell how much it's down there on the field, but it's going to be a beautiful night here for football.
Certainly will. Johnny, you're going to be on the sideline. Johnny might have some company down there in that sideline tonight because there's some folks here from his class of 1991, as I understand it.
Yes, there will. It's an exciting night for that. We have about eight guys that are coming back for this game to watch Jimmy Catella Sundante play his senior year, and Jimmy and I and Pat Craver and Scott O'Brien, Nick Fazio, John Fritzl, Mike Mahoney, Darren Marasco, Eric Campbell, I want to give a shout-out to those guys because they're coming back for their first time to see a Dowling game in probably 30 years.
Oh, really? Wow. And they're all
live. I should say live. Yeah. They watch us every week, but
they need to get they need to get something to do on Friday nights besides stand in front of the TV, watch us. But see these white towels being handed out?
We got towels going out
Terrible
tonight.
Towels being handed out to the Dowling fans over here.
As long as they all get picked up.
I see Skig carrying a box of towels.
Yeah.
Why? That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, this was going on last night during the freshman game. I got a little insight to this. But Jenny Cataldo, the assistant coach, her assistant coach's wife, Jimmy's wife, Jenny, of course, their son, Dante, is the quarterback at Dowling. Well, they're handing out towels. Now, all I did was ask them, make sure you get him up here to the press box. And they're walking by us and all that. So maybe you can flag her down there because we got this nice breeze coming inside our door. But, hey, enough of that. We got Dowling and Centennial, the Pizzettis, longtime coach. You look at Jerry, and he's been around, gosh, God love him. All these years he's been coaching here at Centennial, and what a season they've had, over 60 years of coaching. 11th year that Centennial's been a school. This is the 11th year since the school opened, and that's hard to believe because I remember coming up here the first year, and the school split here in Ankeny, but here we are 11 years later, and now they share the field.
Yeah, now they share the field. This game, I kind of got the juices going a little bit today about, it kind of gives you that playoff feel a little bit, because these are two teams that, as they come into tonight, Ankeny, or Centennial, has that big win over Cedar Falls. They got two tough losses, to Southeast Polk and to Ankeny. Well, in overtime. Yeah, overtime late first week of the season. This is a good ball club. And, going down the stretch here for Dowling, this is going to be a tester tonight, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it certainly will, and we'll get right into that. Dowling comes in with the record 5-0 here in Week 6. They're ranked second in the Associated Press Class 5A district rankings. Centennial comes in with a 3-2 record. They are ranked 7th in the rankings. Of course, the RPI rankings come out this Monday, October 2nd, not last Monday. So that'll be another avenue to watch through. The top 16 and all those rankings will make the playoffs. But Johnny, it's going to be the Dowling offense against Ankeny's defense, and the Hawks. They're not bad defensively. They give up just over, I think, 11 points on the season. So they're not bad. They give up, 16 points on defensively, and they played a very tough schedule. So let's talk about that before we go to Coach Wilson. The Dowling offense against this Ankeny defense, and what are they going to come out in? They come out with a 4-3. They're going to have a 3-5. We've heard different things this week, but your thoughts on that and what Dowling has to adjust to tonight?
And you hit the nail on the head, Mark, because that's the big question. They showed a three-man front against East last week, and I don't know if it was due to injuries, if a lot of these guys are back playing tonight and they go back to that four-man front. I would imagine that you're going to see a mixture of both to kind of keep Dowling off balance on what they want to do script-wise. When you're on that script calling plays, it kind of takes you off of that script when you're planning for a four-man front or a three-man front, and I'm sure Coach Wilson planned for both because I know Dowling's coaching staff prepares very well for each and every ball game. But the one big thing is you're going to have to identify certain guys that either you're going to want to double team or away from tonight with Ankeny's defense. And one of those guys, I think number 9, I think they want to identify where he's lined up, and that kind of tells you what type of front they're going to be in, if he's going to be off the ball, on the ball type thing. And I think for Dowling's offense, they need to establish the run game, and that's their strength, and that opens the passing game, whether you're going to see a lot more of quarterback runs and maybe more even balance with Rashad, the running back for Dowling, and then that opens up the passing lanes. And of course, Dowling runs that RPO game better than anybody around. So it's going to be a big test for Dowling Catholic tonight.
Yeah, we've seen the Maroons adjust to, if they take Rashad Davis away, the outstanding running back, the Maroons can go to the air and run that RPO. Be interested to see what Ankeny does. And now the other side of the coin, Matt, the Ankeny offense, and they've got a good one, led by their quarterback, Trenton Smith, number 4, and they've got some back. They always do. That 4x100 state championship team, all those guys are on the football field too. Eli Porter, Braden Jackson, Chase Shuddy, Max Snyder, and Connor Welsh. They're all on this field, and that'll be something that Dowling has to neutralize. They don't run the old broken wishbone like they used to, but they run a second man through a lot, and that's a lot to do with their offensive line and how Trenton Smith reads the Dowling defense. Your thoughts on how Ankeny's offense matched up with Dowling's defense?
It's just a lot of misdirection things, and they try to change your vision of your eyes of your defenders. You know, they're trying to get them to watch all the movement and everything else, and really when it boils down, you're trying to watch the guards and see who's pulling, see where the trap's coming, and all of those things. You know, to your point, Mark, it's a really good ball club. The interesting thing is we've played against some quarterbacks over the last few weeks that have been runners. Now, Trenton Smith, as good as he is, and he's not a runner. He's only got 1 yard rushing so far, or 8 yards rushing, 924 yards passing. But their running backs, the thing that always impresses me with this team is their running backs do a good job of catching the ball out of the backfield.
In space,
And they are a couple of their leading receivers. Not only their leading running backs, but leading receivers. And so that in itself is so hard to defend, the backs coming out for a defense and getting those linebackers on them and get them covered.
Yeah, like you said, that one-on-one matchup with those linebackers on a running back, especially how much speed the Centennial backfield has. I think 3 of the 4 on the 4x100 team, they all run under 11-second 100. So that's a tough matchup. You're right, Matt.
It is.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. Of course, the Dowling linebackers led by Dylan Manning. He leads the team with 33 tackles, a pair of sacks. He, along with Matt Hanton and Zach Smith, the 3 linebackers, lead the team in tackles. And we always talk about this, at least I bring it up. It's always good to see your linebackers leading the team in tackles, and even a defensive lineman. When you have your corners and safeties lead the team in tackles, you may have some problems. So that's good news for Dowling.
It is good news. And again, we've talked about it a lot this year. That front 4, we could say the front 8, right? I mean, it's really those guys that are continuing to run through there. You got Ryan Bobo, Isaac Beaver, Mason Beaver, and Keevy Ford in that front 4 to start with. But then you bring in Ringwelski, Pins, and Middleton, and they just do a great job of rotating through and getting hats on hats. And so that clears the lanes for those linebackers and allows them to run. That really, because we don't hear their names a lot. They're not making a lot of tackles up front, those 8 guys, but they're clearing the way, and that's what it's about. And one note to add, just in warm-ups here, Ankeny isn't tipping their hat because they did run a 3-man front on defense in their defensive skeleton here. So I was kind of watching them as they were going there.
That's been the game within the game the last few days.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. One of the things, too, is that they run that buck sweep where they send one running back one way and they send another one the other way that gets on an island where you have 3-on-3 with that linebacker's going to have to, like you mentioned, tackle in space, and then you have that buck sweep that comes back the other way. So they run that really well.
They test you. You got to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined and not overrun your alleys and stay on track, and then we can play.
All right. Well, we'll come back with more here as the pregame show continues from Ankeny Stadium. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mandering, John Chido. Dowling taking on Ankeny Centennial here in Week 6 of the high school football season. I caught up with head coach Tom Wilson. We'll visit with him next here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
The next Man Up West Power Lunch is Friday, October 13th at St. Francis of Assisi in West Des Moines. Father Ignatius Mikoji shares his experience of living out the mission of Divine Mercy. Program begins at noon, lunch provided by Chick-fil-A. Registration is encouraged at iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale now joined by head coach Tom Wilson. It's Dowling at Ankeny Centennial tonight here at Ankeny Stadium. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win last week over Des Moines Roosevelt. You're now 5-0 on the year, and best of luck tonight against Centennial.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, Coach, what a game it was last week. Got a lot of kids in. You led 36-0 over the Rough Riders at halftime, won 50-0, and hopefully you came out with as few injuries as possible, especially this late in the season where everybody's battling injuries. But your thoughts on the win over Roosevelt, especially getting a lot of kids in and having a lot of kids step up. Special teams really stepped up, and the defense that contest.
Yeah, well, I thought we started slow, to be honest with you. They'd given us some different looks that we didn't expect, so it took us a little bit of time to adjust, which we did, our kids did, and which was a positive. And I thought once we got rolling with things, we did some very good things, and it was more, through the air and as opposed to the run, which, we needed that work as well. But as you mentioned, getting a lot of kids in the ball game, which is clearly a goal of ours. It doesn't always work out that way, but really happy that we could do that. And, a lot of those kids did a nice job.
Dante Cataldo threw for a pair of touchdowns. Rashad Davis ran for a pair of touchdowns. And Hank Brown and Troy Wilson, your son, were the recipients of touchdown passes from Cataldo. But, special teams, look at Nick Frericks. They block a punt, and Nick falls on it in the end zone, fumble recovery. And then Joel Sanko, a 35-yard pick six in the second half. A lot of good things happen. A lot of kids that you don't hear a lot about got involved in that contest.
They did, and Jackson Miller was the guy that blocked both of those punts, and he just does a lot of the dirty work for us, and just a sophomore. So it's been good to see their growth. And one of the kids that caught a touchdown pass late was Keegan McEwen, who's a senior that has been a fantastic kid to have in the program, and that was a lot of fun to see, and certainly enjoyed that. And then Joel Sanko, as you mentioned, with the pick six, that's not the last time you hear that name before we're all done.
And getting Jack Jeffson in, the backup quarterback, another senior to go with Dante Cataldo. Really good to see him get reps, and he got a lot of reps the whole second half and part of that second quarter.
No question, and we wanted to get Jack in, and there's been a few times that we're going to do that, and to be honest with you, probably failed in that regard. And Jack does a great job. Awesome kid. I thought the couple of his throws were pretty impressive. He had Nick Reinhardt in the middle of the field, and I think it was his first pass, which was very impressive.
Visiting with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game, Dowling at Ankeny Centennial here at Ankeny Stadium. Mark Amadil with Coach Wilson. And, Coach, one of the things we talked about a little bit was, the punt return team. We haven't seen that really be a threat this year as it normally is about this time of year. You usually got some pretty good run backs in that, but it ended up being a punt block team that was doing all the work. And I'm sure you want to see them get more reps when you have the opportunity. But Trey Wilson and Kerner are your two punt returners, and they didn't get a whole lot of reps last week because of the punt block.
Well, to be honest with you, in this day and age, it's hard to get a punt return, just with the style of play that people are utilizing on their punt team. And I don't think Trey's been back there most of the year. I don't think Trey has a credit for a punt return yet. He's fair caught one and got blown up at Cedar Rapids Kennedy when they hit him early. I think Kerner's got one return, and so it's not easy, but we'll continue to plug away at it and try to give our kids opportunities. But it's good to see the pressure that we can get on, because it's still a field position game, and that allows us to win that field position battle.
And Coach, you mentioned field position. I think throughout most of the first half, you started in Roosevelt territory. I think the worst field position you had was your own 48, and that's a credit a lot to the defense, but also to how the team got set up and took advantage of short fields.
Well, we did, and obviously the defense doing that for us, and they went for it a time or two and didn't get it, and I really thought whoever we put in defensively did a nice job.
And, Coach, finally, some of the kids that may not have got mentioned on the radio, you had a lot of them get in last week. I think you emptied your bench if you could, but some of the things that showed up on tape that maybe a young man didn't get mentioned, we can do it now.
Well, I mentioned Reinhardt earlier with the pass, and Gabe Reinhardt's another kid and he plays quite a bit, but doesn't always get mentioned. I'm sure he's another kid that just does the things we ask him to do, and is a nice player and gives us great depth. And again, we hope he continues to have success. But, it was good to see a kid like Dakota Beener, who's a senior, plays right tackle, obviously playing behind Isaiah Seymour, but him go in and do good things. And Josh Miller, who's a sophomore offensive lineman who plays behind Rockers, came in and did some good things. But, there's others. I think really our kids as a whole came in and did a nice job.
This is with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game, Dowling at Ankeny Centennial here at Ankeny Stadium. We'll take a break, come back, and talk to Coach Wilson about tonight's opponent, the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars, who come in with a record of 3-2, Dowling 5-0. We'll return after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Catholic United Financial, a member-owned, not-for-profit financial services company that connects, protects, and generously impacts the families, parishes, and schools in Iowa communities. For over 145 years, Catholic United has helped build stable and secure financial futures for Midwest families. Learn more about how Catholic United Financial can help you and your local parish. Contact Tara Weiss or Peter Orm at 1-800-568-6670 or visit CatholicUnitedFinancial.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale continuing my conversation with head coach Tom Wilson, Dowling at Ankeny Centennial tonight. Coach, hard to believe it's week 6 of the high school football season, and here we are at Ankeny. First time you played the Jaguars since I believe it was 2018, so it's 2019. So it's been a while since Centennial has been on the schedule. We've played Ankeny. And it's good to see Coach Pizzetti, and now he has the all-time coaching record. So I'm sure you'll mention that with him next time you see him.
Well, we might, but honestly, the last couple of years prior to this year, we had scrimmaged them, and so obviously we've been a little bit familiar with them, but that's a different situation. But obviously, great respect for Coach Pizzetti and also Ryan and that program. We've through the years. We've played them quite a bit, and there were some years we played them 2 times a year. And so, I guess during my time here, we've had some great battles, and this one will probably be no different.
Well, you look at Ankeny, and they kind of bring you that, that broken bone type offense, and they've kind of modified it to get their passing game in. And this year, you always got to have a running back or a quarterback, and they do. Trenton Smith's their quarterback, and then 0 is Eli Porter, a UNI recruit. Braden Jackson and Max Snyder are running back, receiver, and then they have a nice tight end in Chase Shetty, who's getting some D2 looks at Pittsburgh State. So they have some offensive weapons, I guess what I'm trying to tell you, and that'll be a great matchup tonight. They come with a record of 3-2, but they've lost two pretty good opponents.
Right. Their 4x1 team plays Tied State, and I think all those guys are on their offense. So, as you mentioned, Smith has played well. Scuddy, the tight end, is a really impressive player. Porter is as well, but they've got more. I mean, 22. There's some darn good players there.
And then defensively, they come out in a 4-3 defense. I know they're banged up, and they probably give a different look, but their linebackers are always good at Ankeny. Reed Anderson, Cole Pieper, and Chase Kluver are their 3 top tacklers with all linebackers, and that's something you want to see in a defense, not your safeties and corners being your leading tacklers, and they got pretty good linebackers. What will be the challenge for the Dowling offense tonight against this Ankeny defense?
I think the big thing is just figuring out what they're going to run. They've played an even front. They've played an odd front. They've modified that even front as well, and then that doesn't really count their short yardage and goal line stuff. So they're pretty diversified in their approach defensively, and as you mentioned, they do have good players, and I think they're very active. I think they have good team speed. I think they're physical, and They play Polk to a 3-point game, and we all know what kind of football team Polk has, and they lost a close one to Ankeny the first game of the year after they led like 17-0, something like that, and then it got away from them. So don't let the record fool you. It's a good football team, and no doubt a playoff team.
Let's talk about Dowling. I know last week the rushing yardage wasn't what it was because Roosevelt had it a little bit different, but I know you want to get Rashad Davis involved with the offense as far as counting on him. But when you get him involved, it opens up the passing game because they put everybody in the box. And I'm sure that'll be the case tonight with Centennial. And you always want to take what they give you. And it seems like the guy calling the shots on offense, Dante Cataldo, has done that throughout the year, takes what the defense gives him.
Well, really our offense starts with Rashad, and we can pound in the running game with him. And, as I mentioned earlier in the year, he had, more carries than I wanted him to have. And for years we've used two backs fairly equally. Well, we really haven't done that. We'd love to use Smith, but Smith's an important part of our defense, and we'd love to use Ian Middleton, but he's also an important part of our defense, plus he's playing some fullback. So it's been Rashad, and the idea last week going to play Roosevelt was let's not run Dante very much and let's limit Rashad's carries. And I felt like we accomplished both of those things. But this week will be different, and obviously both those guys will be a big part of what we do.
And, Coach, I know everybody's banged up. Centennial's coming in with some guys that are banged up that will probably play. You're no different, but it's good to see Kenny James back there at corner. You've had different guys back there. Parker Pearson did a tremendous job. Got his first start, I think it was a couple weeks ago. But Kenny being back, that helps with defensively, and that gets you somewhat solid as far as injuries.
Well, we feel a lot better about it now. Honestly, Parker, we felt good about him in practice, but he came in and performed well in the playing time that he's gotten. And now that we have Kenny back, we feel, that we've kind of have more depth. And any day Kenny James is, on the field and practicing with us or playing in a game, it's a good day because Kenny's a personality for us, and he means a lot to this team, and he's a great kid, never has a bad day. So hopefully he can come back and play well.
Well, Coach, best of luck tonight against Centennial. We hope to talk to you during halftime and during the postgame, but should be a great matchup on a very warm night for mid-September.
Yeah, we'll take it. Thank you.
Head Coach Tom Wilson, my guest here on the pregame show. This is Mark Hamadale from Ankeny Stadium. Matt Mandering, John Chatto will rejoin me for more pregame following these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
I was actually raised in the Catholic Church. I went to grade school through 6th grade, and pretty much about the time I went to high school, I stopped attending church and really didn't think much more about it for a number of years. The return to church, the Catholic Church, was somewhat of an evolution. I thought I knew what the Catholic Church believed and taught, but learned very quickly from somebody who knew far more about the Bible than I ever hoped to know. I learned that the Catholic Church, what it truly taught, and that's where I needed to be. I'm a recovered alcoholic and drug addict. Without God in my life, I'd probably be dead. God has literally saved my life. I feel like I'm truly on the road to the fulfillment of really all of my desires, which is ultimately to spend eternity in heaven with myself and my family.
If you've been away from the Catholic Church for whatever reason, we invite you to take another look. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
Hey, welcome back to Ankeny Stadium as we get set for Dowling and Ankeny Centennial tonight here on Week 6 of the Iowa High School Class 5A District Football. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Mandering. John Chatto has made his way down to the field level. He'll be on the Dowling sideline. Just for a point of perspective, we're broadcasting the press box that's on the east stands of Ankeny Stadium. Dowling fans and team is right in front of us, and obviously on the west side is the Ankeny Centennial personnel. But we got Johnny down the field, and let's do this first report. Johnny, are you there, and can you pick us up?
I am. Can you hear me, Mark?
Oh, you're coming in loud and clear.
I love the loud and clear, Mark.
Always. So you might have an interview or two, right? Feel free to do that. You got some. If you can get them across security, feel free.
We're working on that. I don't know where these guys are at, But
well, they're tailgating, Johnny. They're behind us.
I don't know. I like to blame it on traffic, but I guarantee it's not that.
No, they're back here tailgating, and something about they're not missing you much right now. But
probably.
Yeah,
probably right.
all your guys, class of 91 in town. But, hey, give us the field position. That wind is gusty up here. It's cooled down, so we don't have the heat. What's the field conditions on a turf field here at Centennial's home field?
Well, the wind is swirling out of the south, and it's not. It's calm, and then it kind of it swirls with a little bit of a gust, but it's not, shouldn't be too much of a factor. Going in or with the wind, I don't think because it's not as bad as it is up top where you're at. I think field level, it's not. It's just a little bit of a gust. That's about it.
Okay, well, we'll see how that affects the passing game for both teams tonight. I know Ankeny likes to do both. They're a pretty balanced team, and Matt, this is going to be a good one. I think this will be a good test for Dowling. Yeah. I know everybody points to Southeast Polk Dowling. That's week 8, but you still have Centennial and Urbandale to get through before you meet Southeast Polk, so you can't look ahead.
No, that Southeast Polk game is a long way away, and farthest from Coach Wilson's mind.
Absolutely.
As they get ready for this game. This is a lot of fun. I mean, I remember the last time we were here in a back-and-forth football game, and I don't expect anything less tonight. You have 2 veteran coaching staffs that prepare their kids well, maximize their talents, and it should be an exciting ball game. And again, we have this little cat and mouse thing going on. What defense were they going to show?
Sure.
And all those things.
Other games going on tonight, and a game we'll try to keep you abreast of. Johnston at number 1 Southeast Polk. Other games include Ankeny at Cedar Rapids Prairie and Waukee Northwest at Valley. Those are some of the games that we'll keep you abreast on. Other games going on, Des Moines Lincoln's at Waukee, Cedar Falls is at Pleasant Valley, and Des Moines Lincoln at 4th-ranked Waukee. As we said earlier, those are some of the ranked teams. We're going to take a break, come back with the kickoff between Dowling and Ankeny Centennial here at Ankeny Stadium on a blustery night. The sun has just went down, so the heat is now off, and we'll come back. But first, our pregame prayer, and, of course, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan of Dowling Catholic High School. The kickoff is next here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Welcome back to Ankeny Stadium as we get set for Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Dowling kicking off, defending the south end zone, and the kick by Andrew Schumacher goes into the end zone, touchback. So the Jaguars will have it, Matt Mandring, 1st and 10 from their own 20 as we are underway on a high school football Friday night. Pack stands here at Ankeny.
It is great. This is a great setting for high school football. What's interesting, you got both student sections all in white tonight, so they didn't coordinate that very well, I don't think. So.
Yeah, the principals forgot to tell them, I think.
No, that's not my job.
On 1st down, Centennial runs the football, and they got a 1st down the far sideline, hopping to tackle the 40, and picking up a big chunk of yardage is Ankeny Centennial on 1st down, and that was a tremendous play call by the Jags, and as I see who gets off the bottom of the pile, the Maroons may have saved themselves a touchdown, as that was Max Snyder on the reverse to start the game.
Yeah, a little misdirection out of the chutes here, as you know, it's always a tempter to do that right away, and a good play call, and big gain there for Centennial to start the football game.
27-yard run, 1st down Centennial from their own 47. They'll put a man in motion, pistol formation. They give us the tailback, right up the gut they go. They go right at the Dowling teeth of the defense, across the 50, And this is Eli Porter on the carry, number 0, and he picks up a big chunk of yardage, maybe 7, to the Dowling 47.
Nice surge from that offensive line, and they get out there and they beat up the front four from Dowling right there, and they gave up a lot of ground, and it was just straightforward football right there. And again, there's always going to be a guy in motion, and where your vision has to be in the backfield, and watch your keys.
Trenton Smith is the quarterback. Here's the snap out of the shotgun. And a little jet sweep to the left side. He slips a tackle, first down and more, and that is Braden Jackson. He's finally swung down inside the 35 of Dowling, but not after picking up about 15 yards and a Centennial first down.
They come out firing in all cylinders here, and Matt Kerner saved a touchdown right there with that last tackle as Ankeny, again, that time they handed it off to the motion man around the left end, and a big play for the Jags.
So Centennial with a first down at the Dowling 33. No score. Opening drive of the game by Ankeny Centennial, who comes in with a record of 3-2. And a little misdirection. They run the play right to left, trying to turn upfield, and gets across the 30. And finally spun down there is Eli Porter, number 0 again on the carry. And again, they're working the left side. They've went to both sides of the field tonight on their first series.
Yeah, they have, and that time they try to go to they're going to the short side of the field, and putting the pressure, trying to outnumber the Maroons at the attack there, and Ankeny has come out firing on all cylinders.
Jaguars, the 2 receivers to the left, tight end on the right. Porter goes in motion, and now a little swing pass to Porter. It's caught by Jackson this time, and he punches it upfield inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line. First down, Centennial, and they use a swing pass out of the backfield to Braden Jackson.
Yeah, he's in motion going across. Jackson's going across the formation in motion, play action inside, flip it out to him in space. And what they're doing is with this offense, they just create a lot of one-on-one situations. It's one-on-one tackling situations, and right there is Jeremiah Kruger out there on that corner, had to come up and make that play. So they put a lot of pressure on you, challenging the edges.
All right, 2 receivers to the left for Centennial. That's J.J. Morgan split out wide to left, and now they give it to the tailback, and that is Eli Porter over the right side, and he scampers inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line, a pickup of 7.
Off tackle that time, and a little trap play, and really created an alley. You could see it from up here. He had a big hole to run through. And, again, a nice gain as they're chewing up 5, 6, 10 yards a shot here.
They certainly are. So it is 2nd and 3 for Centennial. The ball in the Dowling 12 underway here in the first quarter. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial, a pair of top 10 teams in Class 5A. Quarterback is Trenton Smith. And now a penalty flag down. And this may be our first penalty of the contest, and we'll see what this is about. Normally it's against the offense procedure call against Centennial. That'll back them up 5 yards. Our referee is Craig Van Vark. The umpire, Kyle Ward. TJ Augustine is the head linesman for this crew. Todd Rohrda, the line judge, and the back judge, Carter Tryon. And a penalty against Centennial backs them up 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 from the Dowling 17, Matt.
Right now, the Centennial's looking at their play script, their first 10 plays, which they'll practice over and over again. They're just going right down the list with wins. And they're going to keep going down that list and executing to a T right now.
2 tight ends, 1 receiver, hand off to Porter, looking for room on the right side, and he's tripped up as he crosses the 15. I'm going to spot him down about the 13-yard line for a gain of 4. This will bring up Centennial's first 3rd and long.
3rd and long here, so you get about a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 for the Jags. And here's the tester for the defense. Can you bend and not break and hold them here and hold them to a field goal? Get them to put the brakes on this drive.
Nice game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by our good friends at Bose and LaFlores, Construction Professionals, and the Catholic Tuition Organization. 3rd and 5, they call it for Ankeny. Receiver going. Now we got a timeout called by the Jaguars. We'll keep it here with 7:24 to go in the first quarter. No score, Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. 3rd and 5 coming up for Centennial from the 14-yard line. And John Chowder, you're on the Dowling sideline, and Centennial started this drive back at their own 20-yard line, and they have a nice drive going as now they're in the red zone. And the Dowling defense, I'm sure, trying to figure all this out.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of motioning and getting the backs, like Matt mentioned, in space. And a lot of the stuff has been to the outside where utilizing their speed and they're able to get the edge. And the Dowling linebackers and the corners need to come up and seal that off more and attack that instead of sitting back waiting for it to come to them, because these Ankeny backs are very fast in space.
Yeah, they are, and they like to get them out in space. Matt, you mentioned that. They try to find those speedsters. Of course, they got the 4x100 state champs all playing football and all on the field at the same time offensively, and that's going to keep the Dowling defense busy.
That is. That's a tough task for those linebackers, and so, again, read your keys, stay in your lanes, and try to get a stop, and that's what's going to go on here. And right now they haven't had much push into the backfield, not to disrupt the timing, and sometimes you need to be able to do that against a team like this, get some push on that line.
All right, Centennial out of the timeout. They give to Porter, right up the gut he goes. He's inside the 10, spun down, and inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. Straight up the gut they went. They didn't run any of that motion. They ran Porter, Eli Porter, the UNI recruit, right up the gut, and first and goal, Centennial.
Again, nothing fancy right there. That's an A-gap trap. I mean, Johnny could probably tell me if he trapped or not and on that, but it was straight up, like you said, Mark, right through A-gap, and big gain, first down, first and goal.
First and goal at the 3, a 10-yard gain for Porter. This will be the 8th play of the Centennial drive. They started back at their own 20. They split out 2 receivers to the left, one back in the backfield, and that's Porter. He gets the handoff, finding some room on the right side, and he gets in for the touchdown over the right guard and tackle. Touchdown Centennial, and just like that, Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling 6-0 with 6:45 to go here in the first quarter.
That's a statement. That's a statement drive right there. Again, they, as you say, all teams, all coaches go through a play script, and they'll script out their first 10 to 15 plays. And Ankeny went through and executed theirs very, very well and made a statement with this first drive offensively. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Yep, now the extra point as Centennial now brings in their PAT. The ball down, kick is up high enough, and it is good. So it's 7-0 on the extra point by Ryan Bendazoo. And with 6:45 remaining first quarter, it's Centennial 7, Dowling nothing. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
To all our family of listeners, we want to say thank you for your generous support during Iowa Catholic Radio's fall fundraiser. Your gifts make all the difference in ensuring the future of Iowa Catholic Radio. If you didn't get a chance to pledge, it's not too late, and matching dollars are still available. Donate now at iowacatholicradio.com to help continue this important work of connecting listeners to Christ. We are family. Again, thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Cy Kellett, host of Catholic Answers Live. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Ankeny Stadium, shared by Ankeny High School and Ankeny Centennial High School. Tonight it's Centennial, the home team, and the Jaguars lead at 7-0. 8 plays, 80 yards on the Ankeny Centennial drive. They take the opening kickoff and march it downfield. Extra point good, 7-0 Centennial. A little short kick, squib kick, picked up by one of the upbacks for Dowling, and taking it upfield on the return for the Maroons is Ian Middleton, and Dowling will have it 1st and 10. Right around the 35-yard line or so. Let's go down to John Chido. Pretty good drive by Centennial, Johnny, to come out taking the first series downfield right at Dowling's throat.
Yeah, not one pass. Everything was a run, and it started on getting the edge, different directions, short side, wide side of the field. Now, football's a game of adversity. Now we need to see how Dowling responds to that adversity, especially defensively. They need to get off the field, stop the run, but Dowling needs to have a good offensive series to start this.
No question about it. An empty backfield. Cataldo back to throw on first down. Lofts it over the middle. Incomplete. He tried to hit his intended receiver, Hank Brown, but Hank did a kind of a stop route, if you will. right above the center, about 15 yards downfield, and I think Dante thought he was going on a go route.
Yeah, it looked like, you're right, it looked like Hank broke it off, and Dante thought he was going to continue down the seam and threw it over top of him. Dowling went empty on that first series, or that first play, and tried to spread him out, and Ankeny is running that three-man front. So we expect to see a lot of different blitz types coming from different angles. Now they're in a four-man front.
Pistol formation for Dowling, two receivers left. Rashad Davis in motion, right to left, and they give it right up the gut, and handoff goes up to about the 34-yard line for a gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and 8 for Dowling, as the ball carrier was Ian Middleton. Rare carry for the fullback in this formation.
Yeah, I think, we're trying to figure out what's going on here, but I think as soon as they see a running back in the backfield, they're dropping to a four-man front. When Dowling was empty, they went to a three-man front. So when they motioned him now, they were stuck in that 4 and ran Ian up the middle. So we'll see what happens as they continue.
All right, 6 minutes remaining, first quarter. Centennial leads Dowling 7-0. Here's a snap. Two receivers left. Cataldo back to throw, and the pass is nearly intercepted and incomplete. Unfortunately for the Maroons, it is incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Nate Christensen, one of the senior captains. And it'll bring up 4th down for Dowling, and Centennial is really all over the Dowling routes.
They were, and you could tell the momentum for Centennial. They came in with their eyes focused for this night and are giving their A game right now. And that one, Dante, was just a step late, and he was sitting back in zone coverage, and broke it up. Christensen did.
All right, the Maroons back to punt on their own 20-yard line. Good snap, and Zach Smith, averaging 39 yards a kick, gets it away, fielded by Centennial at the 30, and a return up to about the 33-yard line by the Jags, Braden Jackson. So that's where Jags will start 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line with 5:46 to go, first quarter, 7-0. Centennial leads Dowling. Let's go back down to John Chido. Johnny, 3 and out for the Dowling offense.
Yeah, when you try to take a shot the first series and it doesn't execute, you're 2nd and 10, and then you get short yardage and you're behind the chains a little bit in 3rd and long, and then Ankeny Centennial makes that nice jump on the ball to deflect it from the Dowling receiver, and Dowling's forced to punt. So it's tough when you can't execute that first play and put you in long yardage. That's 2nd and 10. Dowling wants to be in 2nd and short, that type of situation.
All right, on 1st down, we're going to have a procedure call against Centennial. They did the quick jet sweep to Eli Porter from left to right.
They're going to call a neutral zone.
They are. That's on Dowling. I thought it was so that'll move the Jags up to the 38-yard line, a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 5 here, Matt.
Yeah, that motion and a little quick off the edge, getting a first step there. Couldn't tell which defender it was, but someone on that front 4. This offense is hard to replicate in practice because you have the speed, that you can't replicate the speed that this team has as you're preparing for this game. So it's going to take a couple series for them to get it figured out.
1st and 5, Centennial. Line of scrimmage is their own 38. Here's the snap and the handoff right up the gut, and finding a little bit of room and a good running play that time as Centennial brings in their second back. That's J.J. Morgan on the carry, the young sophomore, 5'9", 200-pounder, and he scored 3 touchdowns this year right up the gut over center and gets it up to the Centennial 42.
Good play there by Parker Pearson, who has come back in. It looked like Kenny James couldn't quite get it going. And so Parker Pearson's back in the ball game and comes up and makes a tackle right there.
2nd down and 1 for Centennial. One back in the backfield, and they give it to him, and that is Eli Porter trying to find a room. Went right, then comes back left, and gets the 1st down on second effort as he crosses the line of scrimmage and gets a couple at the 5-minute mark here. It'll be 1st down Centennial at their own 44-yard line. Game 2.
A real good job by Parker Peterson there, because the play went away from him, and then the back breaks it off. There's nothing there, cuts it back the other way, and Parker Pearson stayed home and makes the tackle. For a short game, even though it was a 1st down, it was only a 1-yard gain.
The wind getting pretty gusty up here in the press box, so I can imagine what it's like in the field. 7-0 Centennial. Here's the snap on 1st down to give to Porter again, and he's loose in the secondary, and he finally slides down at the Dowling 45. And that should be good enough for a 1st down for the Jags.
Yes, that'll be another 1st down, and it looked like Dowling had someone in the backfield there ready to cut that off, and was the contained person there, but the running back so fast just cut up inside of him and was able to extend that run into the Dowling secondary.
Gain of 10. First and 10, Centennial at the Dowling 46. Jags will have 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Centennial going right to left, north to south here at Centennial, or at Ankeny Stadium. Now we got a penalty flag. This might be against Centennial. Do I dare to venture?
Yeah.
And I got procedure against the Jags. That's their second penalty of the night on the offense. That'll set them back 5 yards, back to their own 49.
This is really a big series here now. You get them at 1st and 15. Here's the chance for this defense to set up and make a statement and say, okay, we're starting to get this figured out and get a stop.
And as Johnny mentioned earlier, Centennial yet to throw a pass. 1st and 15. And now a little end around, they give it to Porter, looking for room, and down the far sideline across the 50, and finally down into near the original first down marker, right around the 45, 46-yard line. They're going to spot it on the 45 for a gain of 6.
Porter's such a good running back. I mean, he is able to stop and start and make some shift changes there as the Dowling defense was in position that time, and still he makes a miss, and it's a 6-yard gain.
So it'll bring up 2nd down 9 for Centennial. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 45. Centennial going right to left. In front of us, back to throw for the first time tonight. Trenton Smith launches the ball downfield. The pass is caught, but he's out of bounds, incomplete. Right around the Dowling 25, and they'll bring up 3rd and long. And the Dowling fans here with their terrible towels tonight and get the defense going. 3rd and long for Ankeny Centennial.
Manhattan did a great job there of coming over the top. The ball was there and laid out for the receiver, and Matt got there the same time the ball did and put a stick in him and broke the play up. So this is the first time they've had more than a 3rd and 5. It's only their second 3rd down play.
And Max Snyder split out wide right, 2 receivers to the left for Centennial, 1 back in the backfield. And here is Trenton Smith back to throw, has pressure, a little screen pass, and it's caught by J.J. Morgan, and he's near a first down. I think he got it on second effort at the Dowling 35.
Yeah, he gets the first down. They had set up the screen play. They read the blitz. Dowling was bringing pressure and throw the screen play over the blitz, and big gain.
11-yard gain, first down Jags at the Dowling 34. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0. Ankeny Centennial leads Dowling. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido here. Brady Grimm, our studio producer, back at the studios of Iowa Catholic Radio. Beautiful night, windy. The temperature was in the lower 90s today for you folks that aren't listening from the state of Iowa outside. And now we got a penalty flag thrown, and they may have drawn Dowling offside. We'll see.
You know, that's the other part of this. When all that motion, the eyes start watching different things, and you tell the kids time and time again, watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball. And right there, the eyes got on the feet of the man in motion and jumped off sides.
So that'll move the ball 5 yards in favor of Centennial down to the Dowling 29. It'll bring up 1st and 5 again for the Jaguars. They had that earlier in their first drive. Centennial leads 7-0. That quarterback is Trenton Smith, the 6'1 senior for Ankeny. Handoff once again to their tailback. And this is the backup tailback, J.J. Morgan. He and Porter share that duty, and he gets the first down. He only needed 5, and he got a little more. Down to the Dowling 23.
It's the other thing that Ankeny Centennial is able to do is they're able to sub in speed for speed. And right now they're getting rested guys out there. When you bring your second running back in and be able to make that play, that's a big deal.
Once again, the 7th play of the Ankeny drive, Centennial drive rather. 1st and 10, Jaguars from the Dowling 23. 1 back in the backfield, 2 tight ends, and a receiver on each side of the formation. In motion is Lawton Langford, and the give is to the tailback, and that's Porter, and he's gone. Touchdown Centennial. Near side, Eli Porter. They had him one-on-one with maybe a linebacker, and he scores from 23 yards out, and it's 13-0 Centennial with 1:50 to go in the first quarter.
That was just a counter sweep, and they had all the motion going to the right.
They pull a tackle off the left edge and bring him around, and he almost didn't have anybody to hit. And there's one guy to beat and an offensive tackle out leading Porter around that left edge, and that was an easy run-in for Centennial.
All right, the extra point now by Bendezu. The holder is Chase Kluver, and the long snapper Zach Howe, and the extra point is good. So with 1:50 to go here in the first quarter, it's Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling 14-0 here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
It's the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive. October is the month dedicated to pro-life, and Iowa Catholic Radio is celebrating all month long. Bring your donation of new diapers of any size to the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, 1355 50th Street, Suite 500 in West Des Moines, next to Intervisions. Wipes, thermometers, nail clippers, bath items, sleep sacks, and swaddles are also needed. Be part of the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive during the month of October, supporting Intervisions Healthcare.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Iowa Catholic Radio is now available on your smart speaker. Step 1, say,
Alexa, enable the Iowa Catholic Radio skill.
Or enable it through your Alexa app. Step 2, say,
Alexa, open Iowa Catholic Radio.
Now enjoy listening to Iowa Catholic Radio through your smart speaker.
And welcome back to Ankeny Stadium. A little squib kick again, picked up by one of the upbacks for Dowling. They get it up to about the 30-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will be. Middleton on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 with 1:40 remaining. 14-0 Centennial leading Dowling Catholic. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that's where John Chido is at. And Johnny, it's been a long night for the Dowling defense. They've given up 2 scores on 2 possessions, and the Maroons have got to figure out a way to stop this Ankeny rushing attack right now.
Yeah, it's the speed and the motion is confusing the linebackers, whether they go with it or not. And then when they're hesitant, it brings a guy away from where the play is actually coming. But the Dowling offense needs to help the defense out a little bit and sustain a drive to get them some rest, because they've been on the field this whole first quarter.
All right, from the 30-yard line, the Maroons get it to Rashad Davis. Breaks a tackle in the secondary across midfield and finally run out of bounds right in front of us and the Dowling bench at midfield. So a nice run of 20 yards by Rashad Davis on his first carry of the ball game, Matt Mainring.
Outstanding play there off tackle on the right side as Rashad Davis gets the ball, pops the gap, and danced out to the right side. Big gain, what the offense needed.
So it's 1st and 10, Dowling at midfield, trying to go into Centennial territory for the first time tonight.
And again, with the back in the backfield, they're showing a 4-man even front.
There's a snap. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Again to Rashad Davis over the right side, and he's stacked up at the Centennial 47 for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
As they sit here and go back and forth between the two types of defenses, it's one of those things that sounds good, looks good, but again, can your kids continue to make the reads defensively that they need?
Pistol formation for the Maroons. 2nd down, 7. Final minute of the first quarter. Centennial leads Dowling 14-0. Number 7 Centennial, number 2 Dowling Catholic in Class 5A. The give is to Rashad Davis. He hops the tackle and then finally is stood up right at just inside the 45 down to the Centennial 44 and bring up 3rd and about 4.
3rd and 4 off the left side over Kyle Rockers and over Joe Fralick. And nice gain for the Maroons. And what they're doing right now is they're having the 2 safeties over the top. They're kind of manned up on the corners, a little up pressure there, and let the safeties run on the split ends. And so we'll see as they continue to adjust. Because right now they're right up in the face of Horace out there on the left side.
Pistol formation for the Maroons. Dowling will move their fullback, which is Jackson Miller, to the left. Back to throw Cataldo. Looks right now, looks left. Throws downfield. It's got a man wide open. It's just overthrown. Incomplete at the 5-yard line. Dowling had one-on-one coverage, and it was Curtis Horace. Just over his hands, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Beautiful thrown ball by Cataldo, but just overthrown.
That's one of those where the wind probably played just enough of a role in that and made that ball sail just a little bit on Cataldo. But I thought he kind of laid it right on him. It was just a matter of he didn't get enough. It almost like he stopped running a little bit there, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah,
quarter break.
That's exactly what I saw because the ball was thrown. It looked like it was going to be a reception. It looked like it, from my angle, hit him in stride, but he kind of paused there at the end and let the ball kind of sail. If he keeps running a little bit, he's going to run right through that and into the end zone.
That's the final play of the first quarter. We'll come back with the second quarter after this timeout. Our score, Ankeny Centennial Jaguars leading Dowling Catholic 14-0. Back to Ankeny Stadium after this 1-minute break on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
I am Father Lito Thomas from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Ankeny Stadium. Start of the second quarter, Dowling Catholic and Ankeny Centennial. Dowling with the ball, and Maroons trail 14-0 as both teams now are back on the field, waiting for the officials to get set here, Matt. But Maroons now with a 4th and 4, and Dowling has their offense on the field here, so they are going for it.
And once they let the time run out in that first quarter, you figured they were going to go for it because otherwise you're going to punt with the wind at the end of that first quarter. And so here they go, big 4th down play early in this ball game.
Pistol formation for the Maroons. Cataldo at quarterback. 2 receivers left, tight end on the right. Dowling going right to left, north to south. Hand off to Rashad Davis, puts his head down, still grinding, and pulls forward. Depends on where his knee lands. The ball landed across the 40, and it's going to be near a first down. Matt, you're looking right at it.
It looks like they're going to give it. Yeah, yeah, that's a first down.
That might be the biggest play of the contest for the Maroons.
Boy, he really fought that thing. And, again, you don't have to bring the sticks out. It was close, but we don't have to bring the sticks out in this turf field.
Good point.
Yeah.
We were on grass last week. 4-yard gain for Davis, first down Dowling at the Centennial 40-yard line.
And Rashad, that was the finish was all about him because he was 2 yards short at first contact.
Yeah, good job out of him knowing where the down and distance was. 5 receivers for Dowling. Cataldo avoids tackler, still in the secondary. He's got the first down and is finally tripped up inside the 25 down to the Centennial 23-yard line. First down Dowling.
I think this is something that you're going to see a little bit more tonight because watching some tape, it just felt like Centennial left the middle of the field open. So when teams tried to spread them out, there's not much help in there. Those linebackers are gone, and Cataldo might have some room to run tonight.
18-yard run for Dowling quarterback Dante Cataldo. First down, Dowling Catholic, trailing 14-0 as we're underway here in the second quarter here at Ankeny Stadium. Dowling in their visiting white uniforms, maroon pants, and Centennial in their home dark jerseys, white pants. And now on a little read option, Cataldo is hit and thrown down back inside the 25, and they're going to spot forward progress at the 25. A loss in the play of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 13 for the Maroons.
Yeah, it's a little read option there for Dante, and but the play was a little slow developing, and the speed of these linebackers got pressure in the backfield for him, and that linebacking crew of Anderson, Pieper, and Kluver, they are tough. They are tough to deal with. They're good football players and made a play.
Dowling now with a 2nd and 13 from the Centennial 25. 2 receivers left, tight end on the right. Play action fake, and now they swing it out to Rashad Davis out of the backfield. Down the near sideline, Rashad tripped up inside the 15, and they'll spot him down right around the 14-yard line of Centennial, and that should be good enough for a first down, and it is.
Yeah, another first. Well, they're going to say a little bit short.
Oh, they're going to call 3rd and 3. They said step back to the 13. Okay.
So Dowling going tempo right now. Come up to the line of scrimmage. They may go. They may do a check with me. So trying to keep the pressure on this defense.
So 12-yard gain, but shy of the first down. We'll bring up 3rd and 3, Dowling on the 13 of Centennial. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends, and they run it to Rashad Davis between the tackles, and he's stuffed right at the 14-yard line, gain of 1, and that Ankeny defensive line penetrating and making the stop.
Going over that left side, and that defensive front for Ankeny Centennial, they are a little bit of a load up front. You got 230 with Grider, Neath at 190 and 190. It's a lot about speed, but again, it's those linebackers rallying to the football. It's the difference.
4th and 3, Dowling. Line of scrimmage is the Centennial. Looks like 14-yard line. So a gain of 1 for Davis. Maroon's going for it. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. You can hear the wind through our microphones. It's gusting. Here's out of the shotgun. Cataldo looks left, throws like the pass is caught, and it's good enough for a first down. Nice job. A little quick hitter on the left side, and the Maroons pick up the first down, as you can attest through the Dowling fans, and that was Curtis Horace with the completion.
And I really like what Curtis Horace did there. His job is to get a first down, and he didn't try to do anything fancy. He made a big target for Dante. Dante hits him between the numbers, and he just curled up to get the first down, and that was it.
5-yard gain, 1st and goal, Dowling from the 9 of Centennial. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring, John Chido. 8.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Centennial leads 14-0. High snap, but Cataldo will keep it, trying to get outside. Lunges forward and gets near the 5. They'll put him down at the 6 for a gain of 3.
Hey, and that was a design play all the way, that it's going to be a quarterback draw, and the middle was kind of plugged up for Dante, so he bounced it outside, made one guy miss, and then turned it into a positive play.
This will be the 12th play of the Dowling drive, which started back at their own 30-yard line. That was the tail end of the first quarter where it started. So pistol formation, 2nd and goal, Dowling. Maroons going right to left, north to south here at Ankeny Stadium. On a beautiful night, a little gusty with the wind, and you can hear it in our microphones. And now here's the snap to give Rashad Davis, looking for a hole. He's got one. Stood up at the goal line. Touchdown on second effort. Touchdown Rashad Davis, as he was stood up at the goal line, and he went right through that brick wall and scored.
He did.
And Maroons now on the board, trailing 14-6 with 7:33 to go here in the second quarter, Matt.
He did, and he got met right at the goal line by, I believe it was Drake Dittner. And he just exploded through. It was quite a collision at about the half-yard line, and Rashad Davis bounces in.
Extra point now by Schumacher. Andrew waiting the snap. Jepson the hold. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick high enough and good. So our score now 14-7. Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling Catholic with 7.5 minutes to go, second quarter. We'll return to Ankeny Stadium after this 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Calling all ladies to Spiritual Warfare, featuring Janet Williams in person from EWTN's Women of Grace. Saturday, November 11th at St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Des Moines. The day includes 3 talks, Holy Mass, Rosary, Continental Breakfast, and a special opportunity for prayer requests. Ticket prices start at $30. Visit iowacatholicradio.com for more information. And don't miss Spiritual Warfare with Janet Williams and Iowa Catholic Radio.
Connecting listeners to Christ. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Weekdays at 1 p.m., it's Dr. David Anders with Call to Communion. It's a live call-in show for non-Catholics and fallen away Catholics. Called to Communion on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, connecting listeners with Christ.
All right, Dowling Catholic, 12 plays, 70 yards on the drive, capped off by a Rashad Davis 6-yard run. Extra point by Schumacher, and it's 14-7. Centennial with the lead. Here's a kickoff by Schumacher, a little pooch kick inside the 35, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 10, so it'll be first down Centennial from their own 35 if they accept the penalty and do not want the re-kick. Let's go down to John Chido as Johnny, pretty nice drive by the Dowling offense. I mentioned 12 plays, 70 yards, capped off by Rashad Davis's 6-yard touchdown run.
The two big plays were both fourth down conversions. The first 4th and 4, Rashad had a fight for every yard to get that first down, and then Cataldo to Curtis Horace on a stop pattern on 4th and 3. So those two fourth down conversions were big to keep that drive alive.
Yeah, they certainly were. Now let's see if the Dowling defense can stop this high rushing offense. Handoff to Porter again, and he goes from his own 35 and bowls his way near a first down across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. Getting good yards on first down there, Matt, is Centennial.
I've been impressed by this offensive line, and they come off. This is the first offensive line we've seen that's been able to dominate and hit our front four. Gavin Humphrey, 6'4", or 6'2", 240 junior, and Blaine Sandquist, Drew Schnaden, and Max Dickinson, and Lucas Jurovich. Really coming off the ball.
2nd and 3, Centennial on their own 43. They have the win at their back, and now give is to the tailback, and getting near the first down, right on the first down sticks, is the tailback, and that is Porter once again.
That time the Dowling defense did a good job of plugging the gaps up front, but again, they only needed a couple yards for a first down. They've been in second and short more than they have tonight, and again, on first down, the Dowling defense has to do a better job because they're giving them second and short way too much now.
And they're doing it through the A gap, between the tackles. So first down, they rule it. First and 10, Centennial from their own 45. Ankeny Centennial leads 14-7. 6.5 minutes to go. Back to throw. His quarterback Trenton Smith fires down the left side. Pass incomplete. Penalty flag comes down. And we're going
to call pass interference.
Yeah, it looks like. We'll see
out there on Jake Kruger, they're going to call interference as they're fighting down the field. And I couldn't tell if he had to stop for that ball. And that's why, because as you're chasing, that's always a tough play for the defender.
So it's an automatic first down. The ball will be at the Dowling 40-yard line. It's 15-yard penalty against the defense from the line of scrimmage. And it's 1st and 10 Centennial at the Dowling 40. So once again, 3 plays and they're already there in Dowling territory. Centennial with 2 receivers right, tight end on the left, 1 back in the backfield. And now the give is to Porter again, works the left side. This time he stood up right about the 40, or check that 38-yard line for a gain of 2. It brings up 2nd and 8. That beats 2nd and 3 any day.
That's right. And a little better job there of creating a pile at the line of scrimmage. And again, we've been talking about how good this front four has done all year long of keeping the linebackers clean. Tonight, they're getting the offensive linemen are getting down to that second level and getting pads on those linebackers. And right there, they did a much better job of what I always called create the pile.
Eric Fields and Max Snyder split out wide left for Ankeny. Tight end is on the right. Put a man in motion out of the shotgun. And now penalty flags down as quarterback Trenton Smith has to stop. And we'll see what this is all about. Dead ball foul against Centennial, and that's their 3rd procedure call of the night.
When you do this, one thing about it, when you create so much motion in your offense, it is a little bit of a gamble. You have to live with some of these motion penalties. And tonight, 3 of them in the first half, more than Pizzetti would have wanted. But that's the risk you run.
Yeah, Coach Jerry Pizzetti in his 63rd year of coaching, 11th year here at Ankeny Centennial, and all-time leader, 443 wins in high school football, set the all-time record a few years ago from Dick Tighe. And now high snap, now they fake the end around, and they give it to him. They do give it to him, and that is Braden Jackson, and he stood up the line of scrimmage, actually a loss in the play back to the 45, and it'll bring up 3rd and 15 for Centennial on a busted play.
I don't know if he didn't hand it off originally because the Dowling defender was right there almost to take the handoff, and he hesitated and then handed it off anyway on that reverse, and Dowling defense read it well, created a 3rd and long situation for the first time tonight.
So Jackson loses a yard. He was a flanker in motion on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. Centennial letting the clock wind down. 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. It's Ankeny Centennial 14, Dowling Catholic 7. Play clock under 5, and they might just take a timeout and come up with something. So if they do, we will with them. With 4:48 to go here in the second quarter, 14-7. Centennial leads Dowling here at Ankeny Stadium. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Throughout history, our Lord has shown us that He is truly present in the Blessed Sacrament. Experience these wonders for yourself as Iowa Catholic Radio presents the Vatican International Exhibition Eucharistic Miracles of the World at Beckman Catholic High School in Dyersville, now through October 3rd. Learn more about how you can bring this beautiful panel display to your parish, school, or faith-based organization by calling 515-223-1150 or visit iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
This is Grace Gibbons from the Basilica of St. John. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Ankeny Stadium. Week 6 of the high school football season. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring, John Chido. 3rd and 16 now for Centennial. And back to throw is Trenton Smith. Escapes the pocket, steps up, fires it out. It's caught by Max Snyder, and he's, let's see, near a first down. I think he had it initially, then he went back towards the 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it.
He's got it. They're going to give him the first down. And there's a case where the pressure came, and Trenton Smith did a really good job of just stepping up in the pocket, and he had an open lane to throw the ball right to Max Snyder, and big play on 3rd down to keep this drive going.
So Centennial down to the Dowling 29-yard line. 16-yard reception, first down Centennial after a 3rd and long play. There was 3rd and 15, and Centennial picks up 16. One back in the backfield, man in motion. They're going to give it to Jackson. Tries to turn the corner in the jet sweep, and he's met head on by the Dowling linebacker, and little or no gain on the play.
I believe that was Zach Smith on the tackle there. Just did a really good job of staying home and reading that play on that sweep, and met the running back right at the point of attack on the left edge, or the right edge, and big stop on first down.
Yeah, they give him 2 yards, so they'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Centennial at the Dowling 27-yard line. 14-7 is our score. Ankeny Centennial Jaguars leading Dowling Catholic. 3:30 remaining here in the first half. Reminder at halftime, we'll catch up with Tim Eyes, the Dowling girls and boys head cross-country coach. Back to throw is Smith. Scampers out of the pocket. He's going to be sacked. Sacked back inside the 35, down near about the 31-yard line. If so, that'll be a loss of 4. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
I believe, as it's getting a little dark up here.
Yeah, about ready to break out the portable light here in a minute.
And maybe Johnny can help us. It looked like it was, I couldn't tell if that was one of the Beaver twins or if that was Ryan Bobo out there.
It was Ryan Bobo.
Yeah.
So Bobo with the sack, timeout on the field, and we'll keep it here with 3:15 to go in the first half. 14-7, Centennial leads Dowling, and let's get more from our sideline guy. He did a good job covering up that name that we couldn't figure out up here. It is getting dark. Johnny, what do you got from the Dowling sidelines right now?
Well, you want the defense to get off the field on 3rd and 16, and they had, like Matt said, they had the pressure in the backfield, and the quarterback did a nice job for Centennial stepping up in the pocket and finding the open guy. And the receiver found the open space between the dropping outside linebacker and sat there and made a nice catch and throw. But now Dowling's got Centennial's defense behind the chains. It's 3rd and long. They have to convert on 3rd and long. They got to get off the field here.
Yeah, and hopefully force a field goal. You know, they've got a good field goal kicker. You got to think here they would do that. Maybe not go for it, but you don't know. They're going to keep the pressure in this fast-moving first half of football.
Yeah, it certainly is.
A lot of running game, and like Matt, they have the win too. So that field goal does probably come into their mind here on this play call here.
Yeah, the wind out of the south-southeast, so it would favor Ankeny heading towards the north end zone. All right, it'll bring up 3rd and 12, Centennial from the Dowling 31. And now here's the end around. They give it to Eli Porter around the left side and breaks through, but he's finally brought down inside the 20, and he's near a first down. Depends on where they spotted him out of bounds.
You know, they run that sweep so well with pulling everybody, and they're going to go hurry up right here.
So it's 4th down for Centennial, 4th and about 3, and now timeout called by Centennial. So we'll keep it here with 2:54 to go in the half, and Coach Pizzetti has just used his second timeout. But they were going to hurry up all of a sudden, but they didn't get the play they wanted, or Dowling got back on defense.
Dowling, they were going to do a quarterback sneak, and Dowling got in there and plugged every gap and made the right defensive call to prevent them from going for it on 4th down.
All right, so Porter gains 10 yards on that end around, if you will, for Ankeny. Gets the ball to the Dowling 21. It'll bring up 4th and 2, they say. And looking at, they got to get to about the 19-yard line to get a first down. So,
and the confidence they have moving the ball right now, if I'm Pizzetti, I go for it too. I mean, Dowling hasn't proved that they could stop a run play under a yard and a half, and that's what we're looking at right here.
Yeah, and Johnny.
So Matt, I got this question. You know, with your coach's hat here, we haven't seen their tight end, who's awfully talented, is going Division I here. A little play action to your tight end. Do you take that chance in this situation, or do you keep running the ball?
I think you run the ball because Dowling hasn't proven that they could stop it yet. And so, you know, they're going to run the field goal unit out here. This is probably the biggest surprise of the night right here.
So Centennial attempting a field goal. Benazou, number 39, a junior, will attempt a 38-yard field goal with the wind at his back, and the kick is up and good. So Benazou, a 38-yard field goal, gives Ankeny a 17-7 lead with 2:45 remaining here in the first half. We'll return to Ankeny Stadium after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Weekdays at 5 p.m., it's Catholic Answers, a live call-in program to offer Catholics and non-Catholics a chance to talk with world-class apologists and theologians. Catholic Answers, live on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, connecting listeners with Christ.
And we're back here at Ankeny Ankeny Stadium, and Dowling and Centennial. 17-7 is our score. Centennial with the lead. Here's the kickoff. And the kickoff goes to the end zone touchback. Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 2:48 to go in the first half. Timeouts. Dowling has 2 remaining. Ankeny is out of timeouts. And an interesting call there, John Chido, as you're on the Dowling sidelines. Ankeny settling for the field goal of 38 yards from Benazou.
Yeah, I mean, they got the 3 points. You always want to put points on the board, too. But it was, like Matt said, a great chance to take a shot. You're up 7, and you've been running the ball well. And Dowling has not been able to stop the outside, and Ankeny setting that edge, especially with that reverse coming back or that jet sweep.
Plus, you run out the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, you run down the time in the second half. Second quarter.
Dowling with the first down from their own 20. They swing the pass out, and it is caught near side by the Maroons. And with the reception, that would be Hank Brown, and he's out of bounds right near the first down marker, Matt.
I think they saw him move the first down. Yeah, first down. So they move the chains, stop the clock, and get things reset. You know, Dowling's going into the wind with this passing game, but again, you still have this threat of Rashad Davis that can take one anywhere.
10-yard gain, 1st and 10 Dowling from their own 30-yard line. 17-7, Centennial leads Dowling. Final 2.5 minutes of the first half. Handoff Rashad Davis, and he gets tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage and fell forward for a couple yards.
Well, he had a gap right there, too, and just got tripped up on his own player's legs in the backfield. Otherwise, that one would have been a bigger gain.
Here's a snap out of the shotgun. Handoff Rashad Davis waiting for his blockers. Now in the secondary. Hops a tackle at the 45, on his feet at the 50, and finally brought down at the Centennial 49-yard line. Boy, was that a burst of explosion by Rashad.
And he gave
He gave a kid a little shake there in the middle of the field, and the socks are still laying there from that defender, I think. So great play by Rashad in the open field. He is such a threat out there.
19-yard run, first down Dowling from the Centennial 49. Minute 50 to go. Handoff Davis again. Between the tackles he goes. Inside the 45 of Centennial, down to the 42. He'll pick up 7, bring up second down and 3.
And, a lot of running backs do end up being just that tempo type of thing, and getting Rashad the ball there and getting him going as he runs off. It looks like he got a little bit of a stinger in his right shoulder, and they can make things happen in a hurry. Now they're adjusting here as the clock winds, getting a new personnel out there.
Empty backfield for the Maroons. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Dowling going right to left or north to south. Back to throws Cataldo. Now wants to run. Looking. Still on the run. Fires it. It's incomplete through behind Hank Brown, who is near the 30-yard line of Centennial, and that'll stop the clock at the minute 12 and bring up third down and 3.
I think it was a good decision by Dante. He was thinking run when he broke the pocket, and he does such a good job of keeping his hips squared up as he's running so he can pull the trigger, and just a hair behind Hank as both players are run. That's a tough throw.
Third down and 3, Dowling. Ball on the Ankeny Centennial 42-yard line. Pistol formation for the Maroons. 2 receivers to the right. Handoff to the tailback, and that is Zach Smith, and he punches forward. He's got the first down. That'll stop the clock inside the 40. And again on second effort, it was a give, a stop, and then a blast through the hole by Schmidt.
Zach Smith has proven his worth. Again, he's playing defense, but when he's come in to give Rashad a break, he's been able to make plays, and he is a salty runner as well.
5-yard gain for Schmidt. First down, Dowling at the Centennial 37, 48 seconds to go, and Dowling with 2 timeouts. Cataldo out of the shotgun with 2 receivers right. They fake Schmidt, throw downfield. The pass is caught. That's the big tight end for Dowling on the catch. Will Leifker out of bounds near a first down inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, right at the sticks. It goes out of bounds, so that would stop the clock. And Will Leifker, such a big target. And he went up right there and made himself a big target for his quarterback. And nice catch, extends his hands, catches the ball with his hands, and it's a big first down, or not a first down, but a big game for the Maroons.
It's an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Stops the clock with 35 seconds to go. And now here's Cataldo out of the backfield. Wants to run. Now still looking downfield. Still looking. Gets the block and goes out of bounds, and a penalty flag down. And they're going to flag Dowling for the blindside block. And they're going to get Sam Kavlock, I believe. That look right?
I think it's probably Leifker.
It was an 80 number, I
thought.
Was
it an 80 number?
So nonetheless, this is going to come back, and that'll be a spot foul. Johnny, can you add anything to this?
I was just switching the sides of the field as the action was going on.
Yeah, they got Dowling for a blindside block, and that'll be from the point of attack.
It is something that's been changed for the safety of the players, but back in the day, Mark, that was a nice block. And
that was when it was on grass, man.
Yeah,
grass fields. Remember that?
So, and that's a big deal. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, all the way back to the 44 of Centennial. You're right.
Rashad Davis back into the ball game here, so that goes back to the previous spot, and they mark it off 15 yards. So now it's 2nd and 17 for the Maroons.
All right. Davis in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, tight end. On the left for Dowling. Here's the snap. Cataldo under duress. Fires the ball downfield. He's got a man open. That's Trey Wilson, and he makes the catch inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line.
Great
catch. That'll stop the clock with 21 seconds.
They're going to take the timeout, too.
Trey Wilson gets behind the defense and makes the catch. They're going to spot the ball right at the 8-yard line. So a 36-yard pass play.
You talk about the speed. Trey Wilson's got speed. That's where you can match the Jags' speed. Trey Wilson's got a gear, and Cataldo let it go. It held up in that wind a little bit, and it pushed it across, but that was the way that Trey was running. So it allowed him to run under that football and make a diving catch there at the 8-yard line.
And, Johnny, did you have a good view of that one? Because it looked like Trey ran right into the ball.
Yeah, it was thrown where he could run and get it. And like Matt mentioned, with his speed, he's able to get there. And it's a heck of a catch because he caught it down close to his ankles and was able to secure it as he went to the ground. But going back, Trey has nice moves to the outside to get the inside leverage there and to get by that corner who's playing press coverage. So nice move to get that guy to the corner to turn and run with them and then to be able to run through the ball and make the catch there that was a tough catch down below by his ankle.
Thank you, Johnny. And Dowling in the Bozen Flores Red Zone. Say more with Bozen online at bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. That's 244-7673. Bozen makes the moment mean more. First and goal, Dowling at the 8 of Centennial. You hear the wind picking up. Maroons going with 2 tight ends on the left, 2 receivers to the right, 1 back in the backfield. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Davis in the backfield. And he looks that way, throws near side, and he overthrew everybody, incomplete. And live for another down with 15 seconds to go to bring up second and goal, Matt, from the Centennial 8-yard line for Dowling.
It's really tempting right now not to call the same play. Don't you think, Johnny? Because Leifker was standing there all by himself on the goal line, and Dante, his vision was to that left side, and he had that vision back to the middle.
Yeah.
Leifker standing there all alone.
That's right. If his eyes would have just peeked just a little bit back there, he would have saw that. You're absolutely right.
All right, Middleton comes in. It's a fullback. Rashad Davis will line up to the right of Dante Cataldo, who lines up in the shotgun. Tight end on the left, 2 receivers right. One of those receivers in motion right to left. Now back to the right. Here's the snap. 14 seconds remaining. 1 timeout left. Dante Cataldo in the end zone. He overthrew everybody, incomplete. Horace was the intended receiver, and he overthrew everybody. Now bring up third and goal, Dowling, with 10 seconds to go and 1 timeout remaining.
He had a little gas on that, but what I like about that throw was that it was only going to be where his receiver could get it because there was some traffic underneath it, so he had to throw it a little bit higher, and not a bad thing. You got 10 seconds. You got 2 downs here to get in the end zone.
All right, Trey Wilson in. He'll be the slot receiver to the right. They send 3 receivers to the right. Middle one is Hank Brown. Now officials stop play, and they stop the play clock. Still waiting on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the confusion was there.
And referee signals ready to play. 10 seconds to go. Third and goal, Dowling from the 8 of Centennial. 1 back in the backfield, Rashad Davis. Cataldo out of the shotgun. 2-step drop. Now wants to run. Looks right. Throws over the middle. The pass is tipped away and incomplete in the end zone. Tipped away nicely by Centennial, and that was Nate Christensen, who made a play earlier in the contest, deflecting the ball, and this will bring up 4th and goal for Dowling.
Nate Christensen just saved a touchdown for Ankeny. And Dante Cataldo did such a good job of breaking that pocket and then running parallel to the line of scrimmage and allowing himself the ability to throw or run, and saw the opening, threw the ball, and Christensen just makes a heck of a play to knock it down.
So Dowling will attempt the field goal here. They'll put the ball down at the 15 from the left hash. This will be Andrew Schumacher. His longest of the year has been 38 yards. This will be a 25-yarder. Ball down, kick up. It's inside the right upright. Good! So the Maroons score on the final play of the first half, and the Maroons trail 17-10 here at halftime to Ankeny Centennial. And John Chida will catch up with head coach Tom Wilson here in a moment. But what a way to end the drive. Didn't get the 6 points, Matt, but settled for 3 and cut this Centennial lead to 7 at halftime.
Well, the way this ball game was going, I think Coach Wilson, he's not going to be happy being down, but where this ball game was going, to be only down by 1 touchdown right now is probably a pretty good thing.
All right, let's go down to John Chida with the head coach Tom Wilson and Dowling Catholic.
Well, Coach, quite a ball game there. It's been a game of emotions, adversity, and you guys stepped up there with that nice drive there to get at least 3 points. Trey made a heck of a catch there down by the end zone, and you're able to put it to a 1-score game.
Yeah, would have liked to punch that in, and just felt we were against the clock and couldn't run the ball, and hopefully we'll make it a 4-quarter ball game.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, John Chida with head coach Tom Wilson, as our halftime score here at Ankeny Stadium is Ankeny Centennial 17, Dowling Catholic 10. The Maroons scoring on the final play of the first half on an Andrew Schumacher 25-yard field goal, as Dowling goes from their own 20-yard line and about 8 plays and 80 yards settling for the field goal. Our halftime score is Ankeny Centennial 17, Dowling Catholic 10. When we come back, we'll have an interview. I have an interview with head coach Tim Eyes, the Dowling girls and boys head cross-country coach, so stay tuned for that here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute. Is the Eucharist really Jesus? Not to demean the faith of others, but actually, if you say you're a Christian, then there's no reason not to believe in the Eucharist. At the Last Supper, Jesus told his apostles, "This is my body." He didn't say, "This is a symbol." And in John 6, when Jesus says, "The bread that I give "Is my flesh for the life of the world?" A lot of people refuse to believe. So what did Jesus do? Did he run after them and say, "Wait, I was just speaking symbolically"? Did he explain what he really meant to his disciples, as he had done nearly every time he told a parable? No. In fact, he asked his apostles if they were going to leave too. Jesus must have been pretty serious about his flesh being real food if he was willing to part ways with some of his closest friends over the matter. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And welcome back to halftime here at Ankeny Stadium. Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling Catholic 17-10 here at halftime. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here in the first half. I want to thank Jared Seifert for providing those, Matt Maindring. And if you look at some of the numbers, Dowling and Centennial, the Maroons with 10 first downs, Centennial with 14. Centennial's rushed the ball 20 times for 143 yards in the first half. Dowling 14 rushes, 89 yards. Dowling is 5 of 12 passing for 70 yards. Centennial 3 out of 4 passing for 38 yards. So Centennial with 181 yards of total offense, and Dowling with 159 yards of total offense. The Maroons are 1 of 5 in third down conversions. Centennial 3 out of 4 in conversions. Maroons are 2 for 2 in fourth down conversions, and Ankeny Centennial has yet to attempt that. Again, Dante Cataldo 5 out of 12 passing for 70 yards in the first half. Trey Wilson, the leading receiver, 1 catch for 36 yards. Rashad Davis, 1 catch for 11 yards, and Hank Brown, 1 catch for 10 yards. Will Leifker, a catch for 8 yards, and Curtis Horace, 1 catch for 5 yards in the first half for Dowling. For the Maroons rushing, Rashad Davis, leading rusher, 9 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Dowling's lone touchdown in the first half. Dante Cataldo, 3 carries for 18 yards, and Zach Smith, 1 carry for 5 yards, and Ian Middleton, 1 carry for 2 yards. So again, total yardage in the first half, Centennial with 181 yards on 25 plays, Dowling with 26 plays and 159 yards. Earlier I caught up with head coach Tim Eyes of the Dowling Catholic girls and boys cross country team, and hope you enjoy this conversation I had with Coach Eyes. 16 years at Dowling, 8 state championships, going for another one, and they are the defending state champs, the boys are, and this year took over the girls program. And here's my conversation with Coach Ives earlier today. Mark Amadale here at halftime with the Dowling girls and boys cross country coach Tim Ives. And Coach Ives, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the season you've had thus far, and your 16th year at Dowling, but first year as the girls coach, but 16 years as the boys. Welcome and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a fun and challenging, I hate to call it an experiment, but a new challenge and adventure in my coaching career. And so I'm happy to be here, and it's been fun. It's been a whirlwind of sorts, but I love cross country. I love running. I love Dowling Catholic and the community and the high school. And so, I appreciate the interview, appreciate the time, and looking forward to talking cross country here for a few minutes.
Well, we certainly will. We have to congratulate you. You are the defending state champs on the boys' side, and you were the All-Iowa Boys Cross Country Coach of the Year last year, elected by your peers. And congratulations to you for all the time you've put in, and now you've added the girls, so looking forward to a lot of good things.
Yeah, our girls have quite the storied program, having won a number of state championships about a decade ago. And now our boys have been hot as of late. As you pointed out, we won last year and the year before. So we're looking to three-peat this year. It's going to be also a challenge in that way. We're currently ranked number 2. But, we're excited for what comes. But, we had a tremendous team last season. And we're pretty darn good this year, too.
Well, you certainly are. I have a catbird seat to some of these meets because my daughter's on the girls' side. But, Coach, you look at your the boys' program especially. You won 8 of the last 12 state championships. You've been on the podium, which means top 3 teams, 10 of the last years, the boys have finished on the podium. So tremendous tradition being developed. I know you're only the second head boys cross-country coach at Dowling because Frank Schweitzer, who was our coach in high school, you replaced him, and that's been it. So a lot of tenure here at Dowling.
Yeah, it has been, I suppose, and I recognize a good thing when I have it, and so it might take them a while to get rid of me. I've started year 17, and no looking back now. We've got a machine going, and looking forward to contesting this season, but many more seasons to come.
You know, look back in that magical year last year. You won the state meet, but you also won every meet you entered, including the prestigious Roy Griak tournament up at the University of Minnesota, which your team travels to every year. You got second this year, but what a run. And then there's this guy named Jackson Heidish. He graduated, and he couldn't get the sub-4-minute mile in high school, but he got it this summer before he went down to Duke. That is an accomplishment, because first ever, and you got to coach the kid for 4 years.
Yeah, what a tremendous athlete, and we miss Jackson a lot, but I still obviously stay in touch with him now that he's in college and at Duke. But yeah, he ran 4:02 in the mile indoor before the Iowa high school season. Then he ran 4:02 again at the Drake Relays, trying to take his first crack. And postseason, but still recognized by record holders as a high school sub-4-minute miler, even though it was not during the Iowa regular season. It was in June in St. Louis, and I was lucky to be there. I ran 3:59.07 to be the first Iowa high schooler to break 4, and that ranks him 10th all time among American high school milers, and the 20th ever high school miler to break 4. So he's elite class, and he'll be missed. And I imagine his times will kind of sit on the record board for a few months, if not years.
Well, it'll be hard to beat, but I know there's a lot of kids coming through that want to try and do that, and the bar has really been set. Again, visiting with the Dowling girls and boys head cross country coach Tim Ives here at halftime. And Coach, you look at this year's group, and we'll start with the girls because you added the girls' duties. Coach Jaworski was the head coach for a few years, and then him and his wife took another job down southeast United States, and opportunity came, and literally weeks before the season started, you were offered the head job, and you and Coach Perry do a tremendous job with the gals, but that was a transition for you, and now back to when Coach Schweitzer had it, girls and boys head coach, and that is you right now.
Yeah, it is me, and the girls, I've been so proud of them. The buy-in has been immediate, and it's been strong. As we spoke before the interview, Mark, I know some of these families already, having coached older brothers in some cases of the girls on the team. So knew the families, knew the girls. My wife was involved coaching some of them in middle school when she was here, when our daughter was in the program. And so, I know these girls well and the families, and they've been great, and currently ranked 15th in Class 4A, and they haven't missed qualifying for the state meet, I think, since 2004 or 5. So they've got a good run going. They were 10th last year. But when offered the position to take over a program of a team that has won, I think, 6 state championships on the girls' side, and qualified for nationals a few times and produced greats like Ashley Decker and Katie Flood and Olympian Carissa Schweitzer, I know that this team is only a few seasons away from kind of returning to that elite status, so I'm eager to get them there again.
Dowling girls qualifying 15 of the last 16 years for the state tournament. You got to qualify before you get to run up at Fort Dodge at Kennedy Park. Talk about this year's girls that you're coaching. We'll start with them before we move to the boys. Who are some of the leaders? I know you're always led by senior leadership. You look to that, but you've got quite a few girls competing to be in the top 7, and of course the next 7. So it's kind of like the JV varsity, but you got some kids competing right now.
Yeah, that's right. And we just competed last night at Southeast Polk and beat a team ranked 13th, Indianola, and just behind 14th, Joaquin Northwest. So we had a very nice meet last night, led by senior Liv Hall. And Avery Moeller has been our first or second. She was 3rd last night behind Molly O'Halloran, a junior. And those are 3 of our captains, along with Anna Schessler. But then we had a transfer come in from Nebraska, Braylon Gifford, who relocated with her family. Her dad took a job here in central Iowa, and she's been a nice top 5 contributor and scorer for us as well. Elise Hegerick has been regular in the top 7, and senior Abby Ziegert. But a pair of freshmen, there's many who are doing really well, but 2 that have been in our varsity lineup for much of the season, Cora Volp and Ari Horace, have been very reliable contributors to us, and so the future looks bright.
All right, and Coach, on the boys' side, you're defending state champs, you're out of the hunted. You finished second up at the Roy Griak, and you've been through numerous invites this fall. Talk about the boys, defending champs, and who's ranked ahead of you right now?
Well, September's been a month of seconds for us. We came in preseason number 1 and won our first meet closely. And then our last 3 meets finishing second, but none of them were bad losses. But Cedar Falls at Marshalltown beat us pretty handily in it would have been our week 2 of competition. And so they're number 1 right now. We're sitting number 2. But yeah, Roy Griak last week was a pleasant surprise. We did podium again for the 3rd time in a row. As he pointed out, we were second. And what your listeners probably don't know is that the one team to beat us was 7th in the nation, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. But we beat another nationally ranked team. Number 1 in Minnesota was Wayzata. We beat Michigan's top team, along with every other team from Minnesota. So it was close. The margins were very thin. Of course, we stayed ahead of every other Iowa team that was in that field. But to finish second up there was a pleasant surprise and tells me that we are in a great position to make a run again for the three-peat, though Cedar Falls will be a challenge for us for sure. But our top guys, Jack Flory and Max DeRocher, junior, senior, respectively, have been starting out well. Many of our guys competed late into the summer for track, and so we're kind of getting a late start. We're probably a few weeks behind our fitness and performance from where we'd like to be by championship season, but they're rounding into form. Matthew Bootman had maybe his best race. He's a senior. Last weekend at Griak, Owen Wolf was our 5th scorer on last year's team as a sophomore. He's now a junior. And then Josh Mohan, Nicholas Paulson, Brody Burr have also been in our top 7. Patrick Wainwright. So we've got a deep and talented team, and guys are, as I mentioned, rounding into form at just the right time. So I'm hoping while September was a month of seconds, that October is a month of firsts. That's the plan. So next week will be October, and we're at Fort Dodge at the state meet course. So we're very much looking forward to that one.
Visit with Tim Ives, the Dowling girls and boys head cross country coach. Been at Dowling for 16 years as the head boys coach and first year as a girls coach. And coach, that's quite a performance thus far. And again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And it seems like both the girls and boys teams are peaking towards late October, early November when you have your state meet. But I think what our listeners would like to know, off season, there's a lot of training. And of course, this goes right into track in the spring. But a lot of these young men and women are training year-round, and I'm just amazed at some of the things that I've seen the program on the girls' side. I'm just amazed at some of the things that these kids keep striving for, to get better, to knock their times down. And then you see, and you chart the over-under on their performance, like how much time they cut from last year's meet. It is phenomenal. You're taking 30 seconds to almost a minute off your time, and then increasing that every practice. That's just amazing.
Yeah, it's no secret that for cross-country development, summer training is really important, but I think the secret's getting out to a lot of other schools and athletes that year-round or winter training is really, really important, because for most of our top runners, and probably with very rare exceptions, almost all of the top runners in the state are doing both cross-country and track, but there's those middle months in Iowa, which are really challenging to train in the winter. It's cold, windy, it's dark, sometimes icy, snow-covered. It's tough to get motivated, and of course, as a coach, I can't be there every day with them, coaching them. So they're on their own for a few months, and we do try to get them back in the weight room, and we've been doing a good job with that to get them stronger and make their bodies more injury-proof. But yeah, the winter does make a huge difference, not only for the success of next track season, but definitely for returners for next cross-country season. So. Yeah, I've been in this long enough to know that it's not just about the summer and the weeks and months preceding the season. It's what they do for seasons and years preceding each subsequent cross-country season. So, yeah, we're already making plans for the winter, but obviously we've got to get through this season first.
And Coach Ives, you look back at how the season progresses. You got your early meets, you got your late meets, and obviously you want to peak towards Fort Dodge and the co-ed cross-country meet. What are some of the keys that you see this year's team grouping on the girls' side and the boys' side? Where do you see them, and who might be in that top 7? Because you can only take 7, and there's a competition right now.
Yeah, there is. So our next couple meets, varsity races are almost always 7 runners, but since COVID, that's been expanded to 10 for a few meets. So next meet is Fort Dodge. We can run 10 in the varsity race. The week after that is our conference meet. We can also run 10, but then it's state qualifying, and we've got to cut our rosters to 7 on both sides. So the competition will remain fierce here for the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially. But you never know. You got to be prepared for those who might have an ill-timed injury or illness. And if just because you're not in the top 7 when you think you need to be, doesn't mean you won't be competing for a state championship in the top 7 when it's time to actually fire that gun in Fort Dodge on race day. So the competition will remain fierce, and it's open. And our kids know that. I mean, they're great teammates, and the bonds are close. The camaraderie is really good on both the boys and girls side. But they also see each other as competitors, and I think that there's a healthy balance there of, yes, being competitive, but also having mutual respect. And I think we're figuring that out, and I think girls were 10th last year, and I'd love to see them as close or better than that. And then the boys, I mean, we'll be disappointed if we're not on top of the podium again this year for our three-peat. But we'll give our best, and if we get beat by a better team, hey, kudos to them. But we'll not make it easy on them, that's for sure.
And Coach Ives, final question. Talk about your staff. You got the girls' staff and the boys' staff. I know they're very supportive of you, and I know you enjoy working with them. I can tell you this, my daughter just loves the coaching staff, both boys and the girls' side. It is just an amazing environment that you have created. The culture of cross country is something that, unless you have somebody in it, and you don't understand it. So talk about your staff, please. Yeah,
Lance Peterson joined our boys staff last year, and Kelly McCarty's been my longest tenured coach. He's probably going on 7, 8 or more years. I'm losing track now, but very, very hardworking, knowledgeable, dependable coaches. But on the girls' side, Kelly Perriott, who is our head girls track coach and has been on the cross country staff for many years. She's great and has got a great rapport with our girls. And then we added this season Isaiah Whitrock. He's a recent graduate of Grandview University. He was an All-American and national champion there. Really, really good 800-meter runner, 1,500-meter runner. And he'll be on our girls' staff in the spring for track, working with our distance girls. So, yeah, it's the 5 of us. And, we work well together. And, this train keeps chugging along.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for taking time to visit with us tonight. I know it's halftime of the football game, but we appreciate the time you put in, your success at Dowling. I know you're going for another state title, but the kids are competing every meet to get there, and just enjoy being with you. And thanks for all you do for Dowling and the years of service here at Dowling Catholic High School.
All right, back at you, Mark. Thank you for the conversation about cross country, and go Maroons.
Head coach Tim Ives from the Dowling girls and boys cross country team visiting with us here at halftime. Halftime score, Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling Catholic 17-10. Both teams have just walked onto the fields for their warm-ups before the second half. Dowling will receive the second half kickoff, and we'll take a 1-minute break and return. We'll have more statistics. We'll have some Ankeny Centennial numbers in the first half. When we return, Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido, halftime here at Ankeny Stadium. Ankeny Centennial 17, Dowling Catholic 10 on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Explore 7 Mysteries of the Faith Unlocked by the Holy Eucharist. Thursday, October 19th at 6:30 p.m. at St. Joseph in Winterset. Catholic Answers staff apologist Joe Heschmeyer will show how a right understanding of the Eucharist is key for understanding both the New and Old Covenants, early Christianity, and your own spiritual life. Plus, view the Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. Don't miss Joe Heschmeyer, October 19th in Winterset. Register now at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Kelly Franzen from St. Joseph Catholic Church in Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to Ankeny Stadium as we get set for the second half. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Centennial leads 17-10. We mentioned the Dowling first half statistics. Let's take a look at Centennial statistics. Quarterback Trenton Smith, 3 out of 4 passing for 38 yards in the first half. Eli Porter, their leading ball carrier, 13 carries, 107 yards in the first half for that young man, the UNI recruit, 5'10 senior for Centennial, wearing number 0. And their other ball carrier, Braden Jackson, famous father Fred Jackson, played at Coe College in Dubuque and played a lot of years for the Buffalo Bills. His youngster, Braden, is a junior, 5 carries, 31 yards. And then J.J. Morgan, 2 carries for 10 yards for Centennial. Leading receiver for the Jaguars, Max Snyder, 1 catch for 17 yards. J.J. Morgan out of the backfield, 1 catch for 11 yards. And Braden Jackson, 1 catch for 10 yards. Let's look at some of the numbers from the first half, Mr. Maindring. And I don't know if Johnny's back on mic, but interested to see what the coaching staff have decided in the second half. What are some of the keys? The Dowling offense will have the ball first, and we're awaiting the second half adjustments.
Yeah, they came out. Dowling's going to get the ball first, and they did have some success, a decent amount of success with Rashad Davis running the football. And then towards the end there, they had to pass the balls. They're trying to, beat the clock there to wind down. But it was quite a half of football, only 3 possessions for each team. Dowling had the 1 3 and out, and Ankeny, our defense, the Dowling defense didn't stop them once. I mean, they put 17 points on the board on 3 drives, and then the other 2 drives, Dowling scores 7 and 3. So I think offensively, it's just going to be keeping that mix, getting a heavy dose of Rashad Davis and wear him down.
And recap scoring in the first half, it was Centennial all first quarter. Eli Porter on a run of 3 and then another run of 23 yards for touchdowns. Extra points were good. 14-0 Centennial at the end of the first quarter. And then Dowling gets in action midway through the second quarter with 7.5 minutes to go. Rashad Davis capped off a 12-play, 70-yard drive for Dowling with a 6-yard run. Andrew Schumacher puts on the extra point. 14-7 the score. Centennial leads Dowling. And then with 2:48 remaining in the half, a 38-yard field goal by Benezou for Centennial puts the Jag lead back to 10, 17-7, capping off a 9-play, 65-yard drive. And now here's a kickoff by Benezou into the end zone. Touchback, 1st and 10, Dowling on their own 20. Then Dowling scores with no time left. The final play of the first half, Andrew Schumacher kicks a 25-yard field goal to cut the Centennial lead to 10, 17-10. And that's the scoring from the first half. John Chotto, are you rejoining us here in the second half, and your thoughts?
Yeah, can you hear me, Mark?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know if you guys hit on this during halftime, but Dowling's defense has to contain the outside, and it's 0. It's Porter that's the biggest factor that they need to shut down, and not worry about the other motion and everything going on, but if they can shut down Porter, who's a fast back and he's a tough running back, I think they'll have some success. But I think that's the key to the Dowling defense, and Dowling's offense just needs to keep on converting and moving those chains. All right,
Maroons with a first down, and Cataldo runs the run-pass option, fires it out. It's caught, first down and more, down the far sideline and out of bounds for a first down on a quick hitter. And the Maroons are showing a little bit of tempo because the offensive lineman got right up to the line of scrimmage, but a nice catch that time, Matt.
I dare say this, but that is reminiscent of like a Valley play. It was that flanker out of the backfield is so hard to cover. Ian Middleton right there, and they run him out into the flats in the opposite direction, and big gain there for Ian.
Ian Middleton, a 16-yard run, and a first down Dowling at the 36, their own 36. Now they run the football right up the gut. Rashad Davis across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. So this is taking a page out of the Ankeny Centennial playbook. We saw this in the first quarter, Matt, right up the gut, and Dowling's coming out.
Yeah, they are. They are going to come out tempo and feel like they can establish something here offensively. So they open up with a pass to Ian Middleton and Rashad Davis right up the middle. A little bit of mixture here as they come out to the second half.
Davis a gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5 Dowling. They go right to left into the wind coming out of the southeast. Handoff goes to Rashad Davis. He stood up the line of scrimmage and fell forward for about a yard up to the 42-yard line. Gain of 1. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Maroons at the 42, at their own 42-yard line. 17-10, Ankeny Centennial leading Dowling Catholic. And that time the Ankeny Centennial defense did a tremendous job on Rashad.
That front 4 right there plugged it up. They aren't very heavy, but they are fast, and they were able to stop that up. Again, when they see a running back in the backfield, they're running to a 4-man front, an even front. If it's empty, they're going 3.
All right, 2 receivers left. Handoff for Rashad Davis. The hole opens right over center, and he falls forward near a first down. He'll be about a half yard shy to the 45-yard line. Needs to get to the 46. It'll be 4th and 1.
Big decision here for Coach Wilson coming out of the half. You got 4th and 1. You're down by 7 on the road, and there wasn't much doubt in my mind what was going to happen here.
The punting unit is not in. They bring in Middleton at fullback. Pistol formation, Rashad Davis at tailback. And now it's a check with me with 17 seconds remaining on the play clock. 4th and 1, Dowling from their own 45. Need a yard.
All kinds of time to get a play called here.
7 on the play clock. Cataldo barking out signals. Fakes the handoff. Fires over the middle. Caught. First down, Dowling. And that's Hank Brown on the quick hitter. They fake it to Rashad and just pulled it out. A little run pass option. And Brown with the reception. First down, Maroons.
You can't appreciate how hard that is for Dante Cataldo. He shows a little ball fake and comes out and rifles that thing right at Hank Brown. Big 4th down conversion. That's 3 for 3 now for Dowling in this game.
Yes, it is. And in 4th down conversions, ball's down at the 49-yard line. Brown a 6-yard gain, and now this time a handoff to Rashad Davis. He stays between the tackles, bowls his way as you hear the wind blow in the background. Inside the 45 down to the 42-yard line of Centennial, a gain of 7.
That time going over the right side, right over Nate Agos and Isaiah Seymour. Rashad Davis is able to find some room, stay behind those guys, and everybody's legs are turning as they start to establish themselves at the line of scrimmage.
Dowling going into that howling wind that's gusting near 20 miles per hour and more. 2nd and 4. The give is to Rashad Davis. Stops the 40. Still on his feet at the 35. Still on his feet. He tripped up as he crosses the 35 down to the 32-yard line of Centennial. That's a 10-yard gain and a first down.
That's a big-time run right there as he is able to shake somebody in the backfield, scoot around the end, get the first down, and then twist his way out of 2 more tackles to gain those next 5 yards.
This will be the 8th play of the Dowling drive, as they took the opening kickoff of the second half from their own 20 down to the Centennial 32. First down, Dowling. 3 receivers right, 1 back in the backfield. That's Rashad Davis. Cataldo now does a check with me with the coaching staff. 10 on the play clock. And first down from the 32 of Centennial. Here's the snap. The give is to Rashad Davis between the tackles, and he lunges towards the 30, stops shy, maybe a yard to the 31-yard line. The Centennial defense won that battle, gain of 1.
They did, and that was just straight ahead blocking, no trap, no nothing, just run up and try to knock them off their balance on that defensive side of the ball. And Centennial won that one.
We got some scores to pass along. Matt will try to do this after the next play. I know Johnston and number 1 Southeast Polk were tied at last report. We'll get to that after this play. 2nd and 9, Dowling. A receiver on each side of the formation, tight end right. Pistol formation. The give is to Rashad Davis. Waits for his blockers and bowls forward inside the 25, and they're going to spot him down on the 25-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
3rd and short. And right now, the weight difference on that line, and Ankeny Centennial rides on the speed of that front 4. And right now, they're getting moved off the center by that big offensive line of Dowling Catholic. On that score at the half, Southeast Polk kicked the field goal. It's 24-21. And the only other score we had was Ankeny was up on Cedar Rapids Prairie 7-0.
All right, here at 17-10, Centennial leads Dowling, but Dowling driving as they get close to the Bows in the Flores red zone. And here's a handoff for Rashad Davis up the gut, down to the 20-yard line. And the Maroons in the Bows in the Flores red zone with a 5-yard gain by Rashad Davis.
They're starting to take control between the tackles right now, and they're going to force Ankeny Centennial to put an extra guy in the box to try and get that front stopped. And right now it's just heavy Rashad Davis.
All right, 1st and 10 Maroons from the 20 of Centennial. 3 receivers to the right. Tight end left and 1 back in the backfield. That's Rashad Davis. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Here's the snap. To give to Cataldo, or to give to Rashad Davis. Stop in the backfield, but now runs forward. He's got a seam. He's tripped up inside the 10. 1st and goal, Dowling. Penalty flag down on the back end. But Rashad did a lot on his own there, Matt.
He did. That was all Rashad Davis right there. I think it might be a face mask.
So
at the end of that run as they grab the face mask of Rashad Davis as he comes off.
12-yard run for Davis. Half the distance to the goal to put the ball at the 4. It'll be first and goal Dowling from there at the 4-yard line. Maroons threatening to tie the contest here. 6:40 left to go. They've had the ball half of the third quarter. They took the opening kickoff and have marched.
And this is where
75
yards.
Where
Zach Smith comes in, and you don't miss a beat.
First and goal Dowling at the 4 on the face mask penalty by Centennial. Here's the snap. Cataldo pulls the ball out. The ball is tipped and intercepted. Intercepted by Centennial. The ball tipped as he threw it, and the Jaguars come up with it. Huge play for Centennial, and trying to get a number 27 coming away with it. That is Jack Cahill, one of the captains on the interception.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell which linebacker got his hands up on that speed, on that throw, and that quick slant there from Dante Cataldo to the slant route coming into the end zone. And big run, big drive. Got to instill some confidence in that offense, though. Now the defense needs to make a stop.
So 1st and 10 Centennial from their own 10-yard line. That's the good part of all this. Is Centennial takes the ball in their own territory. Let's see if the Dowling defense and adjustments they made. 2 tight ends. They give it to the tailback. Penalty flag down, and he goes down too. No gain on the play, but a penalty thrown from the by the umpire, and that's usually where the holding calls are thrown. We'll see.
We get an announcement here.
Yeah, it's holding.
It's holding.
On the defense.
On the defense. They point Dowling's way, so.
Well, you don't.
I just saw the side judge here talk to Coach Wilson. He didn't make the call, but he's telling him what happened. They got a player underneath the face mask at the
they called
on the chin, if you will.
Yeah, so it's a personal foul. It's not a hold. So they're right. I'm pretty sure they marked off 15 yards there.
So up to the 19-yard line is where they'll put it. 1st and 10, Dowling from there. It's an automatic first down. Here's the snap, and they give it to Porter right over the middle, and he gobbles up a little bit of yardage. Eli Porter, UNI recruit, crosses the 20 up to about the 26-yard line, gains 7.
Yeah, that misdirection play. They run that guy in motion behind the line of scrimmage, and then the back runs right off his tail up into the left off tackle hole there, and a big gain there for the Jags.
Up to the 25-yard line, gain of 6, they'll call it. He's brought his knee down. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Klein Electric, and Catholic United Financial. Now here's Porter again as they give it to him, a little sweep to the left.
Ball's
and
out.
The ball's loose, and Dowling's got it. Maroons got it. Don't know who's got it. We'll have to look here as they're unpiling everybody. And no official signal yet.
No, we don't have a signal.
And
there we go.
Dowling comes away with it. How about that?
Zach Smith
at the bottom of the pile. You called for him earlier, but that was when they were on offense.
Yeah.
Now you got him on defense. Good job,
right.
Mr. Maindring. Johnny Chido, how'd that all turn out down there, huh?
The ball came loose there at the end. Right as he was going to the ground, the pile, you couldn't see which Dowling defender got their hand on the football to knock it out there as the running back was going to the ground. And as you guys said, Schmidt was able to come up with the key fumble recovery. Now Dowling, change of momentums. Here we go. Now Dowling's offense back on the field, short field, and have a chance to redeem themselves and hopefully put points on the board here.
First down Dowling from the Centennial 27. Thank you, John Chido, for that sideline report. Zach Smith on the fumble recovery. And here's a handoff for Rashad Davis into the secondary again, still on his feet inside the 20. They're going to spot him down right around the 16-yard line, 9-yard gain. And Rashad is picking his holes on that right guard area.
And right there, they give him the first down, so it's a 1st and 10 from about the, looks like the 17-yard line. And again, in this ball game where the Jags are up 17-10, the momentum has shifted back to the Maroons, and the Maroons have shown that they can run the football, and I got a feeling they're going to just keep pounding that thing right now.
1st and 10, Dowling, a 10-yard gain for Rashad. He gets the handoff again and falls forward and finally tackled forward down near the 10-yard line. That'll be an 8-yard gain, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
They are opening up some big holes up there up front right now, and they've made some adjustments at the half, and they've found the alleys they want.
Who's going hurry up? Now they give it to Rashad Davis again, pushing forward and finally inside the 5 and down near
it's going to be
the
right
1 yard line.
Be right the 1.5 or the 2 yard line there. And again, that one's over the left side over Nate Agos and Seymour and Leifger as Dowling hopes to tie the ball game up.
Second down from the 2, handoff
Rashad
Rashad Davis, and he uses his legs and drives the pile forward, touchdown Dowling, and the Maroons now 1 point away from tying this contest.
What a big shift, and both teams end up with 1 turnover in a matter of minutes after such a clean first half, and Dowling capitalizes to make this a tie ball game, and we're getting the ball game that we expected, Mark.
Yes, we are. As Schumacher in for the extra point, Jack Jepson will hold. Wind blowing everything around here in the press box. 17-16 Centennial. Ball is down. Kick is high enough, long enough, and ladies and gentlemen, we're tied. Tied at 17. 4:20 to go. Third quarter here at Ankeny Stadium. Dowling and Centennial back after this 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Would you like to highlight a birthday, anniversary, or other special occasion? You can do that by underwriting a day of broadcasting on Iowa Catholic Radio. For a monthly gift of $300 or more, your message will be heard on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network throughout the day of your choosing. It's the perfect way to honor your memories and milestones while supporting your favorite radio station. Dates go quickly, so reserve yours now. Call 515-223-1150 or email Deacon Mark at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Monday through Friday at 3 p.m., it's Cresta in the Afternoon. Speaker and author Al Cresta looks at life through the lens of Scripture and the teaching of the Catholic Church, providing conversation about the things that matter most. Cresta in the Afternoon on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
And we're back here at Ankeny Stadium. Dowling and Centennial tied at 17. 2 top 10 teams in Class 5A duking it out. Maroons ranked second, they're 5-0. Centennial ranked 7th, they're 3-2. A loss to crosstown rival Ankeny to start the year for Centennial, and then losing at Southeast Polk. And Dowling now trying to stay undefeated going into week number 7, but right now waiting the kickoff as the ball is blowing off the tee. Let's go down to John Shadow. We have this timeout. Johnny?
Well, we talked about games of momentum, and we talk about all the time how momentums are up. You have your highs and lows, and Matt mentioned it. You had 2 turnovers in 3 minutes there, and Dowling was able to capitalize on that, and they just went bingo, bingo, bingo. Same side, same play, 3 different times over Agos and Seymour and Rashad. They're getting something there on that side of the line. And I think Centennial's calling their strength away from it, and Dowling has found something in that running game.
Yeah, once the kickoff gets going, John, I asked you about halftime adjustments. What are you seeing down there? But right now, Schumacher tees it up, and now the whistle comes out. And, Johnny, I'll let you expand on that. What have you seen for adjustments by both teams here thus far early in the third quarter?
Well, Dowling offensively, they've given you different looks and getting the matches they want. They didn't have quite the matches they want with that running game and getting guys out of the box and attacking the weak side. So when Centennial calls their strength to rockers or when they go 2 back with Leifker, they're going to run away from that because they have the numbers. So it's a numbers game. It's a game of mismatches. So Dowling's coming out with a little bit different formations, different looks, and running weak side more than the strong side.
They called a penalty here on Dowling. It looks like it almost looked like it was before he even ran up to the football. So must have been offsides.
5-yard penalty, moved the ball back to 35, and that's where Schumacher will kick off. He's been kind of doing the pooch kick to a certain area, and right now it's over usually about the 20 to 10-yard line on the far side, right in front of the Ankeny bench is where he likes to put it. But that's all scouting when they do these special teams, Matt, as you know.
Yeah.
All right, Schumacher now a squib kick right down the middle. Now goes outside the right hash, picked up at the 30 by Centennial, one of the upbacks. That's Reed Anderson on the return, and he'll be out of bounds just near the 40-yard line. That's where the Centennial offense will go. And, Matt, what are some of the things you're seeing? You heard Johnny on the sideline talk about adjustments. The Dowling defense making their second appearance, but last time was only for 3 plays.
It was only for 3 plays. And, again, Ankeny Centennial, the defense hasn't stopped them outside of knocking the ball out of their hands. So, again, it's trying to figure out here what they're going to do defensively. Now, we did have a couple stops there where they had a short – they did slow them up a little bit, so we'll see here as this drive starts.
All right, here is Trenton Smith, the quarterback, and he gives it to his tailback, and that's Eli Porter. And he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage and may have picked up – well, he did bowl his way across the 40, it looks like, to the 42, and that's Eli Porter again on the carry.
You're starting to see a little more of that, as I said right before the half, that they're starting to create a little more of a pile and just trying to plug the gaps with that front 4 and not worry about trying to make a play or do anything fancy, just trying to gum up that area so they can't trap and run right between the tackles, which they're having success with.
All right, Centennial sends Lawson Langford, number 22, wide to the right. Centennial going left to right, south to north, back to throw to Smith, fires over the middle, and it's caught. That's Max Snyder on the reception, his second of the night, and a first down Centennial at the Dowling 40.
He snuck right behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties in his drop and ran a nice pattern, and Trent Johnson hit him right on the numbers as he was making Trenton Smith, as he was coming across the middle. Nice execution there for the Jags.
19-yard reception, first down Centennial. As you mentioned, Max Snyder, the 6-foot senior wide receiver wearing number 2, catching the pass from Trenton Smith, the senior quarterback. First and 10, Centennial at the Dowling 39. They have the wind at their back, left to right they go. Hand off on the jet sweep. That's Eli Porter trying to turn the corner on the jet sweep, right to left, and he's angling out of bounds, and they're going to spot him down right at the 35 of Dowling, maybe a 4-yard gain.
That time they did a little better job of stopping that jet sweep up as they run to the edge, and the corner came up and made a really nice hit on that. But again, he just continues to fall forward, and just a hard runner is Porter.
Yeah, we mentioned the track team, the state champion track team, 4x1 for Centennial out there, and Porter's one of the guys on it. He and Jackson and Snyder and a few others there. What a group they've had. 2nd and 6 Centennial from the Dowling 35. Smith on play action, looks downfield, has time, fires it out, and he just overthrows the intended receiver, Chase Shuddy. And there's a name, John Chida, we haven't talked about tonight. Their tallest receiver, plays tight end, and has been targeted just once, and that was on the last play, Johnny.
Yeah, he's another one of those weapons that Ankeny Centennial has, and like you said, they haven't really targeted him much, and now you're starting to see him getting in the mix with that little play action, because it's all been trying to shut down Porter, and Porter not allowing Porter to get the edge, and then you start sneaking the tight end out there, and that just creates more problems for the Dowling defense.
Yeah, the bad news there, Johnny, there was like 3 Dowling white shirts chasing Shuddy. If the pass was completed, it would have been trouble.
Right.
Fortunately, it wasn't. All right, here's 3rd and 6. Smith with the handoff and trying to go around left in and stopped right at the 33-yard line for a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 4th down. Is the Dowling defense coming up with a play on Porter?
They did, and right there, Centennial was pulling 2 guys. It's basically, student body left and getting everybody in front of Porter, trying to outnumber him between the hash and the sideline on that left side. And there the Dowling defense rallied to the football and made a really nice play to create this 4th down.
4th and 4 is what they're calling it. Line of scrimmage is the 33-yard line of Dowling. Centennial going for it. They'll bring in 2 tight ends, 2 receivers to the right. Smith at quarterback. Here's the snap, and now penalty flags down, or is this a timeout?
They're going to call penalty. There's movement on Centennial.
And they are. And the Dowling fans in front of us, you can hear them cheering on their team. White terrible towels tonight.
Waving the towels.
For the Maroon fans here. Still waiting on ours.
So now Pizzetti's got to change his mindset here. With the tie ball game, wind at his back, it looks like he's going to bring the punt team out.
Well, his kickers can hit it from anywhere.
Yeah.
He got the win, and I think they're going to set up a field goal.
And again, you in high school, it doesn't hurt you a whole lot to try the field goal because it's going to go back to the 20.
But it is returnable.
It is.
That's
returnable.
the thing you got to remember.
Yeah.
So they'll back him up 5 yards to the 38, and they'll punt it away as Isaiah Bassett with his first punt of the night angles for the far sideline and goes out of bounds inside the 20 down to around the 15. So that's where the Maroon offense will take over. 1st and 10 with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go, third quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, we're tied at 17. Second-ranked Dowling Catholic and number 7 Ankeny Centennial. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido on the 6th week of the high school football season in the regulation of 9 weeks, and we're more than halfway through. John Chido, give us an update before the Ankeny offense takes the field.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have kicked the field goal because you have the wind there, and like Matt said, the worst-case scenario, it's back at the 20, but maybe they don't have the leg. Even, I mean, the wind's swirling now, so I don't know about that.
1st and 10 down, they call it the 20. Handoff for Rashad Davis, and he carries tacklers up to the 25, gain of 5. Going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Maroons, and a little bit of Rashad Davis there, Matt, is this time instead of going right, he went left.
He did, and again, I think, Johnny's onto something there. I think what they're doing is they're calling the strength to the wide side of the field, and what's happening is Dowling's going to be content to run to the narrow side every time, run to the boundaries. So let's see if they, again, run to the short side, because there's only 4 guys on this side of the football.
All right, 2nd and 5, Dowling with 2 receivers right, tight end right. Davis in the backfield with a fullback, and now Dante Cataldo will keep the football across the 30, and he's finally drugged down at the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. First down Dowling, 11-yard gain by the Dowling quarterback.
And you can see the adjustment. When they're in that 4-man front and they split guys out to the right side, they're calling their strength to the wide side of the football field. And what's happening is there's only 4 Jags on the left side of the hash, or on the near side of the hash. So Dowling's got a numbers game, and they're going to win that battle 9 times out of 10, and so that's where the leverage point for them is right now as the time runs out in the third quarter.
Well, we've come to the end of the third quarter here at Ankeny Stadium. Top 10 matchup in Class 5A. Our score, Dowling Catholic 17, the Ankeny Jaguars. Ankeny Centennial Jaguars 17. We'll return after this 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
This is Marilyn Lane, and my parish is Sacred Heart in West Des Moines. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Ankeny Stadium, start of the fourth quarter. Tied at 17, Dowling Catholic and Ankeny Centennial. At halftime, Centennial led 17-10, and Dowling scoring off a fumble recovery by Zach Smith. The Maroons go 4 plays, 27 yards, and tie the score at 17. And now the Maroons with a first down. You can feel the wind here, Mr. Maindring, and
try my best to block.
Yeah, you're the one that's causing all this. John Chido, how about a report from you from the Dowling sideline? Is the wind as bad as it is up here in the press box?
It's more of a swirl down here, so it's not as bad as I can hear it through the microphone up there. I think when the ball is definitely above the stadium, it's going to affect the passing game a little bit. But down on the field, it's not as bad, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, it depends on how high the ball is either kicked or thrown, Johnny. That could have a big difference in that. All right, Dowling's offense coming onto the field. Maroons will have a first down at their own 36-yard line. 81 degrees is what the current conditions are. South-southeast wind at 9 miles per hour. I guarantee you it's windier than that.
Yeah.
That's with the
at least here in this
radar.
wind tunnel we are in the press box.
Oh, we are in it, yes. Yes, indeed. All right, Maroons come out. Pistol formation. They have the fullback in there, 2 receivers. Dowling going with the wind here in the second half. South to north, left to right. Handoff goes to Rashad Davis. Bounces outside the number, still on his feet, and carries tacklers across the 45. And from his own 36, gets up to Looks like the 48-yard line. Wow, that was a interesting play that gained a lot of yards.
It was a play that didn't look like it was going to be much at the start, and maybe even get it tackled in the backfield, and then all of a sudden he accelerates and around the edge, and he's got a couple blockers in front of him as they continue to work the leverage point on that narrow side of the field.
Matt, that was a quiet 22-yard run for Rashad Davis. A quiet. You ever heard that in rushing? He just followed his blockers. First down, Dowling at their own 48. Tied at 17, underway here in the fourth quarter. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Pistol formation. He has a fullback in front of him. Gives Rashad Davis right up the gut over the A-gap, and he's in the Ankeny Centennial territory at the Centennial 45. A pickup of 7.
Pick up a 7, and through traffic there, he's doing a great job of covering up the football, squeezing that thing high and tight, just like Coach Meeks teaches him day in and day out, and he is finding a pathway through there at every snap right now.
2nd and 3, Dowling. Maroons will use a check with me. They have one receiver split out wide to the near side. That's Hank Brown. One receiver to the far side. That's Curtis Horace. Tight end on the right side. And Rashad Davis, a quarterback, or at running back. Quarterback is Dante Cataldo, the senior. Long count. 8 on the play clock. Here's the snap. The give is right up the A-gap over center. And near a first down is Rashad Davis. You need to get to about the 41, and he's maybe to the 42, a yard shy.
Yard shy there as they tried to run up the middle, and it's the right read. You know, it looked like there as they spread them out that in this 4-man front, they only left one linebacker in the middle of the field, but that front 4 for Ankeny did a good job of plugging the gaps, and it's 3rd and short here for the Maroons.
2-yard gain for Rashad Davis to the 43. As you mentioned, 3rd and 1, pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right. And 2 tight ends for Dowling. They give it to Rashad Davis, and he bowls his way right over center and pushes their way to a first down inside the 40 down to the Centennial 39. Kyle Rockers, Joe Fralak, Carter Smith at center, Nate Agos and Isaiah Seymour, and Will Leifker along with Charlie Darnell are the tight ends, and they push forward, gave Rashad a clean pocket.
They did, and right now what we saw from Ankeny in the first half, Dowling's doing in the second half, just running the ball right at them and winning the battle at the line of scrimmage every snap.
9.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, tied at 17, Dowling Catholic and Centennial. Dowling's had time possession. The second half has been all Dowling. Centennial's had the ball maybe 3 plays. Handoff for Rashad Davis. This time bounces outside the numbers and is finally driven down inside the 30-yard line by Connor Welch, one of the captains on the Centennial defense.
Connor Welch makes a nice tackle in the open field, just a little, late if you're a Jag fan, and it's another first down for the Maroons. And Rashad showed like he was going to go up inside for just a minute, but he had 2 blockers out in front of him as Dowling pulled his blockers outside, and that line just, again, create a pathway for him for another 10 yards.
All right, we're at the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Here's a handoff for Rashad Davis again, right over center, and bowls his way forward down to the 25 at Centennial. So the line of scrimmage was a 29, gain of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Maroons.
And now here's where the conditioning comes in, even for Rashad, and as good as he is, he's coming off the field here. I kind of figured that. He's been having to carry a load, and they want to get him a little oxygen right now. And again, Zach Smith has come in at that running back position and done an outstanding job in relief of Rashad.
2nd down, 5, Dowling. The ball on the Ankeny Centennial 25-yard line. This drive started back at the Dowling 20-yard line about 7 minutes ago. Handoff Smith looking for a hole, dances around over the left side and stood up. Gained a couple. And they'll spot him down shy of the first down and bring up 3rd and 3 for the Maroons. Maybe 4.
Yeah, a little bit longer. It might be 4.
Depends on the spot here.
Yeah. And, again, here's the dual threat right now, though, that you have with Dante Cataldo at quarterback, is that threat of him being able to run with Ian Middleton up front as a blocker out of that flanker position. And your Dowling lines up toe-to-toe.
All right. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right. Tight end on the left for Dowling Catholic. Handoff. Or fake the handoff to Smith. Cataldo keeps it. He's inside the 15 and falls forward. First down, Dowling to the 12-yard line at Centennial. He'll pick up 9 yards, and Smith was the decoy.
I think Dante got hurt. I think he got rolled up on by his own lineman there as he goes down, and this is a big moment in this ball game as everybody's around Dante if he got hit in the back of the leg. Johnny's down there.
Yeah, he's on the 12-yard line is where he carried the ball. And as you mentioned, Matt, after the play was over, he got rolled up on, and everybody's down there as far as training staff. And I know he's sitting up, but I'm not sure how that left leg is. John Chado, you're closer than all of us.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. I think Matt, like Matt said, he got rolled up on and it just twisted a little bit.
I think what happened was it was Isaiah Seymour was blocking downfield, and I think his knee hit the back of Dante's hamstring, or the back of his thigh. And so when you get that, when you run like that, and that's a heck of a cramp that can cause. And
cramp.
That's Charlie horse, right?
Yeah. Well, Jack Jepson now will have to come in for at least one play. And Dante, to his credit, gets up and trots right off the field. So that is good news.
That is good news.
And he'll be on the sideline. So Jack Jepson will be in at quarterback for the Maroons. He's been holder, and he's a senior, 6'4", 190-pounder.
He's got Rashad Davis back in the ball game.
Just going to reset their officials are resetting the clock, and there they're going to wind it. 7.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. We're tied at 17. Jack Jepson in. He has Rashad Davis in the backfield. Ian Middleton at fullback, so pistol formation, 2 receivers left. Tight end on the right for Dowling. Jepson out of the shotgun to give to Rashad Davis. Rashad with it, still on his feet. Gets out of a tackle inside the 10 and down near the 5-yard line. Man, it looked like a 1-yard gain turned into a 7-yard gain.
Hey, when you're a coach, you think some things are great coaching.
Right.
Sometimes great players make great plays to make coaches look great, and that was one right there.
Are you trying to tell me something here?
Well, I'm just
7-yard
telling you, that was a heck of a run by Rashad Davis right
Keep
there.
in mind, coaches got to put those players in position to be successful.
I'm not taking anything away from the staff or anything else.
All right, Cataldo back in at quarterback, handoff Rashad Davis. He bowls his way inside the 5, and he's going to go down to about the 2-yard line, gain of 3. It'll bring up third and goal at the 3, I believe.
Yeah, even closer than that. They've got it marked down, it looks like, at the 2-yard line. I think my point in all that was some of that stuff you can't coach. That Rashad is able to do with his feet and the football in his hands.
Yep, it'll be first and goal. That was a first down play. First and goal from the 2. Touchdown Dowling, and Rashad Davis carries it in, and they're going to help each other up. Touchdown Maroons, and Dowling now has taken its first lead of the night. Rashad kind of gimpy getting out of there, but he scores, and it's 23-17 Dowling. 6:23 left to go, fourth quarter. And yes, Dowling's first lead of the night.
Great offensive series there for the Maroons, and just taking control of the line of scrimmage, leaving no doubt in anybody's mind.
Jepson in to hold. Schumacher in, ball down, kick is high enough, long enough, and it is good. So the Maroons now increase the lead to 24-17 on a Rashad Davis 2-yard run for a touchdown. That is his third touchdown of the night. We'll take a timeout with 6:23 to go, fourth quarter. Dowling 24 and Ankeny Centennial 17 from Ankeny Stadium here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
To all our family of listeners, we want to say thank you for your generous support during Iowa Catholic Radio's fall fundraiser. Your gifts make all the difference in ensuring the future of Iowa Catholic Radio. If you didn't get a chance to pledge, it's not too late, and matching dollars are still available. Donate now at iowacatholicradio.com to help continue this important work of connecting listeners to Christ. We are family. Again, thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
At noon, Monday through Friday, the doctor is in. Dr. Ray Garendi helps you with personal problems and professional questions. You'll love his fun approach and practical advice. The doctor is in on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, connecting listeners with Christ.
Hey, we're back here at Ankeny Stadium. The kickoff by Dowling Catholic goes into the end zone, so Centennial will have a first down at their own 20-yard line. But how about this for a drive, gentlemen? Dowling taking over 7 minutes off the clock. They go 13 plays, 80 yards, capped off by Rashad Davis' 2-yard run for a touchdown. And Dowling leads at 24-17. And that's one way to keep your defense off the field, John Chido.
Yeah, and you is kind of a flashback of what Ankeny Centennial did to Dowling in that whole first quarter. They ran the ball down the field and controlled the line of scrimmage. Now Dowling doing it to Ankeny Centennial.
And Centennial downfield, and the pass is caught. And was it out of his hands? Eli Porter with the catch. And I'll tell you what, he high-pointed that. Is that a first down, Matt?
I can't. I mean, it's hard to believe they're going to give him a catch on that because the ball bounced out as soon as he.
And they are 1st and 10. Centennial.
The ball shot out of there like a missile when he goes to the ground, and
I think it's the glare of the field. If you guys notice up there, the glare of the field, it's hard to see those things, I would imagine, as officials. That's the only explanation.
He was right there in front of him. I mean, it was right there.
It certainly was. That was Braden Jackson on the receiving end. So it's first down Centennial on their own 40, and they'll run it up the middle with Porter. Eli gains a couple yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 9. But, yeah, he high-pointed that, came down, and next thing the ball's loose. They call it a catch, and the ball being down apparently.
We got 2 players down in the field right now, one from each team, huddled up there in the middle of that collision.
That'll be one to watch the replay, but you know what? You move forward, and that is a Centennial player down. One of the interior linemen is down, and that'll stop the clock with 5:48 to go here in the third quarter. We'll take a break. With 5:48 left to go, fourth quarter, it is Dowling Catholic leading Ankeny Centennial 24-17. We'll take a 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
I'm Father Thomas Loya, and this week on Light of the East on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, during the 2 weeks leading up to the Nativity of our Lord, we look back on the ancestry of Jesus Christ. We see in the prophets and stories of the Old Testament how Jesus Christ was not only foretold, but prefigured in many marvelous ways. Light of the East, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
My name is Karen Quiner from Holy Trinity Catholic Parish in Des Moines, Iowa. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to Ankeny Stadium. Out of the injury timeout, it was Dowling Catholic's Owen Pins that was shaken up. He jogged off the field under his own power. Now Centennial with a 2nd and 7 from their own 43. The little pass in the flat caught by J.J. Morgan. Then they ruled incomplete as he was hit and dropped. So to bring up 3rd and 7 here, Matt, for Centennial from their own 43. Good defense that time by the Maroons.
Good defense, and as the Centennials going into this win, and even though it's not much, a little bit of a crosswind, which even makes it harder sometimes for the quarterback and the receiver. But here you go, big 3rd down play with 5 minutes to go.
Dowling fans in front of us waving their white terrible towels. Back to throw is Smith. He fires it out, caught by Max Snyder, and he's up near a first down. He'll be about a yard shy. He has to get near the 50, and he's brought down just shy of the 49. I'll bring up 4th and short for Centennial, and decision time for coaches Ryan and Jerry Pizzetti.
Well, you go for it right here, and it's a ball game. But the way Dowling has moved the ball offensively, there's no doubt in my mind. You got to think if you give it back to Dowling, it's going to be tough to stop him. So you're going to go for it here.
Yeah, 4th and 1, 4 minutes, 50 seconds. The game clock running here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 24, Centennial 17. Battle of 5A top 10 teams. There's a snap out of the shotgun to give us to Porter, and he's got the first down, crosses midfield, and the ball now on the Dowling side of the 49. 1st and 10 Centennial, right over centers where they gave the handoff to Eli Porter.
This is like a car crash there, isn't it? I mean, it's just this big collision in the middle of the field. Both teams laying it all out there as that defensive front makes the pile, but Porter is just a load, and he was able to explode across the line of scrimmage and get the first down.
2-yard gain. Dowling a pair of touchdowns here in the second half by Rashad Davis. Both 2-yard runs have put the Maroons ahead 24-17. Here's the snap on first down. And the pass into the flat is caught, but caught for a loss. Back to the 49-yard line as Trenton Smith, a lateral pass that was caught, and the Dowling white shirts corralled him and swarmed on him there, Matt.
They did, and a nice read there as the linebacker, I believe it was Kenny James, the cornerback on that side, stayed home, read the play, came up and made the initial, overran a little bit, but there was a rally to the football, big play, negative yards.
Bring up second down and 12, Centennial. Both teams had 3 timeouts remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling by 7. Centennial's offense will send 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Trenton Smith is the quarterback, 6'1" senior. Got 1 back in the backfield, that's Eli Porter. Here's the snap, back to throw as Smith has time, stays in the pocket, now fires it out. The pass is tipped and almost intercepted. Incomplete to Lawson Langford, the intended receiver at the Dowling 45. I think it went right through his hands, Matt, the way it looked here, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, he's really made a nice play there in coverage, and I couldn't tell if that was Kerner or maybe Johnny caught who the defender was that broke that up right there. I believe it was Nick Frericks, wasn't it?
Yeah, Frericks came down at the end there to break that up, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, I think.
Ankeny going into this stiff southeast wind as they go right to left, north to south here at Ankeny Stadium. And it is 3rd and long. 3rd and 12 for Centennial. The ball on the 49. Dowling fans making a lot of noise over here. Smith out of the shotgun. Here's the snap. Looks over the middle. Fires the ball downfield. Overthrows everybody. Incomplete. Penalty flags down. And the intended receiver was Chase Shuddy. And the ball was overthrown, and now the officials are going to huddle up. And was it a penalty or wasn't it?
Well, the officials think it is, so that's what matters. I mean, Matt Hatton came up and made a hit on the receiver as the ball went over his head, and they call a personal foul on that. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and give Ankeny Centennial a first down.
The referees are discussing this, and that's usually telling me there's a lot more than just that, and they're going to call a penalty on Dowling. I didn't see if it was personal foul. They initiate the penalty towards the other press box, that is the home press box, and mark it off to the 36-yard line.
It's going to be that's a personal foul, and so as the receiver's in the air, defenseless, however you want to call it, and gives Ankeny Centennial new life.
First down Centennial from the Dowling 36. Smith back to throw, fires it out in the flat, it's caught, and hit and dropped in the backfield. Great individual effort that time by the Dowling defense as they tripped up Braden Jackson, Matt, in the backfield.
They did, and that is Pearson right there making a nice play again as he comes up from that safety position and makes an outstanding play. Or he's playing that corner position right now, Parker Pearson.
So a loss of 2 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 12 Centennial. Game clock down to 2 minutes 50 seconds. Dowling 24, Centennial 17 here in the fourth quarter. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Smith out of the shotgun for Centennial. Back to throw. Little pass into the flat, incomplete. Braden Jackson, the intended receiver, and he had everybody around him. And it's probably a good thing he didn't catch the ball. That would have been another loss.
He did, and I believe that was Owen Pins who went out earlier. Comes in and makes the play right there, and does an outstanding job in the backfield.
Dowling fans in front of us, alumni, parents, grandparents making a lot of noise with their white terrible towels. All right, Centennial with 3rd and 12 from the Dowling 38. 2 tight ends, 1 receiver on each side of the formation. Here's the snap. Smith back to throw, has pressure, now steps up, looking, wants to run, running towards the sideline, and he's brought down at the 35-yard line, a gain of 3, and will bring up 4th and 9 for Centennial.
There you can see the hesitation of Trenton not wanting to run the football and being patient back there, but great coverage downfield as there was no openings for him, and he ends up having to put the ball, tuck it, and run, and not something he enjoys doing or is comfortable with, and so you have a 4th down.
9 rushes, 8 yards on the season for the Centennial quarterback. And now a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here with 2:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 24-17. 4th down and 9 for Centennial from the Dowling 35. Let's bring in John Chida, who's on the Dowling sideline tonight. Johnny, get a little noisy down there, a little exciting?
It's definitely playoff atmosphere with these two teams battling tonight, and it's just been a heck of a ball game. But, you know, what we haven't seen from Ankeny Centennial's offense is zero. Isaiah Porter. He hasn't been involved here lately, and he's been the biggest threat Ankeny Centennial has. But credit the Dowling defense of getting them, Centennial, out of their comfort zone and having to throw the football and keeping them behind the chains. And that's helped Dowling tremendously on this last couple of series.
This will be the 13th play for Centennial. The drive started back at their own 20-yard line about 4 minutes ago, so they're trying to make this going to be their last drive of the night, Matt. They're trying to get something out of it, and a field goal won't help them, but a touchdown in the red zone will.
No, this is the way the ball game's been going. This is it, and they don't get a first down here, they're going to have a tough time getting the ball back the way the Dowling offense has been moving the football.
All right, 12th play in the drive. 4th and 9 Centennial. Dowling fans on their feet in front of us. Smith back to throw. Blitz is on. He unlooshes the ball. The pass is caught in the far sideline, and first down Centennial at the 20-yard line. He threw the ball the furthest he had to throw it, and it only went for about 10 yards. But Dowling had the blitz on. They lost a linebacker over there on the blitz. 1st and 10 Centennial at the Dowling 19.
He did. In the corner, it was one-on-one out there in the corner. Had a shot to take him down and slipped a little bit and overran it, so that gets a first down, and the excitement continues.
Yes, it does. 16-yard reception that time for Centennial and Max Snyder. 1st and 10. Jaguars from the Dowling 19. The give is to Porter. He slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, running laterally, and finally pulls his way forward down to the 16 of Dowling, picks up 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
They've done a good job in the second half. The defense has of limiting Porter on the edges, and they've taken that way, and the speed of this defense is starting to catch up and be able to read the motions and everything else and stay home and make the plays.
All right, 2nd and 7 Centennial. Line of scrimmage, the Dowling 16. Man in motion, and they give it to Porter up the gut. He runs into a wall, still on his feet, and now being smothered under back at the 18-yard line. He'll lose 2. Then it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Jaguars. Good penetration that time. The Dowling defense stayed home. A lot of misdirection back there. They faked the end around. They faked the tailback, and then they gave it to Porter right up the gut.
They did. Parker Pearson just made a heck of a play as he ran around and kept contained, even when the running back had bounced it inside, showed inside, and bounced out. He came around and just made a great play on the edge.
Well, unfortunately, there's an injury on the field, and you never want to see that. This time it is a Centennial player. Owen Pins went down earlier for Dowling, but he's been back in. As a matter of fact, he helped make a coverage sack, if you will. And now an injured Centennial player. And let's mention our sponsors right now. We appreciate them all season long and hopefully into the postseason. Our thanks to Catholic United Financial. We appreciate their local member advisor, Duke McCarter. You can call him at 515-380-0153. Catholic United Financial. Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor. KleinElectric.com. And, of course, Skeffington's Formal Wear. They helped out the Maindring family this past summer. Skeffington's with 5 locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Ankeny, Coralville, and Davenport. 515-283-0463. Did they find your size, Mr. Maindring, when the wedding happened?
That was a challenge.
All right, injured Centennial player being assisted off the field. Don't like seeing that, as the coaching staff and trainers assisting him, and we'll try to get a number.
Drew Shaden.
Okay,
yeah, he was the one that was down earlier and came back into the ball game and just can't.
6 foot, 250-pound defensive lineman, but they're starting right tackle, two-way player. Yeah. So keep an eye on that next time. Two-way player, but it's starting right tackle, so they got to replace him here. All right, Centennial, 3rd and 8. Noise being made by the Dowling fans in front of us. Line of scrimmage, the Dowling 18. Minute and a half to go. Centennial with 2 timeouts. Back to throw as Smith fires the ball out. It's caught. And Max Snyder with the reception inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line of Dowling. It'll be 1st and goal on a 9-yard reception.
First and goal, nice execution there for Centennial as they were able to hit him over the middle there. And Trenton did a nice job of putting it right on him.
Had time in the pocket, Matt.
Yeah, he did.
He had a clean pocket.
Clean pocket. It's so hard to get pressure on those non-passing downs because of the motion and staying home and everything else.
So the ball's on the 5-yard line, First and goal, Centennial on the 5. Gain of 13. Smith out of the shotgun, gives it to Porter, goes over the right side, puts his head down, and he goes down shy of the goal line, right about the 1 or 2-yard line. They'll put him down, gain of 3 to the 2.
And they're just letting the clock run out as Ankeny gets up right away here.
Centennial now runs a play, and they're all stacked up the line of scrimmage, and they'll keep the clock running. So they'll bring up 3rd and goal. Timeout. 31 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter. We'll take one with them. 24-17. Dowling Catholic leading Centennial, but Centennial 3rd and goal at the 1 when we return here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Thursdays at 9 a.m., it's Catholic Women Now with Julie Nelson and Chris Magruder on Iowa Catholic Radio, iowacatholicradio.com, and on demand on the Iowa Catholic Radio app. Connecting listeners with Christ.
All right, out of the shotgun on 3rd and goal, the handoff to Porter for Centennial, and he stopped just shy of the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Matt Maindring, it brings up 4th down for Centennial. 15 seconds remaining, and Dowling leading by 7.
Here we go. This is for all. They're going to let the clock run down, run one play, and end the football game. Either it's going to go to overtime or they're going to go for 2 and the win if they get in the end zone.
Yeah, and timeout. We'll keep it here with 4 seconds remaining. It'll be 4th and goal, Centennial on the Dowling 1. This will be the 19th play of the drive that started with 6:23 to go in the 4th quarter. We have 4 seconds left, so an over 6-minute drive by the Ankeny Centennial offense. Down on the field is John Chido, and Johnny, it's going to come down to the final play, at least in regulation.
Yeah, with Ankeny Centennial unable to get the first down there, they let the clock go down and call a timeout because you only have one play left on 4th down. So it's going to be interesting to see here. We're going to see Isaiah Porter up the middle, or are we going to see him on the edge? Or are you going to see the jet motion with that option of running it up the middle or giving it to him on the edge?
Yeah, lots of chances. Now, the Maroons were in this situation against Waukee Northwest, if you guys remember. And they marched it all the way down to the 1-yard line. The Maroons came away. Let's see if they can do it here. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Trenton Smith at quarterback out of the shotgun. 2 receivers. He wants to throw. Swing pass is nearly intercepted. It is intercepted. Dowling with the pick. Kenny James down the far sideline he goes. Inside the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kenny James. The game ends on a pick 6, and the Maroons will win it 30-17. Game over.
He sat there and saw it coming, and they flicked it out there, and he picks it off, runs it back. Game over.
That is amazing. John Chido?
You can see him hesitate because he wasn't sure. Should I lay down because the game's over or keep running?
They're yelling at him to go down on the sideline, but Kenny had so much momentum going. He wasn't letting anything stopping him to get to the end zone.
No.
And we're going to call it a 95-yard interception return. Just looking at some of the guys here, because he intercepted right about the 5-yard line. But Trenton Smith, the quarterback, was checking down. First, they didn't give it to Porter, and they went to the flat, and that's where Kenny was eyeballing this, and he jumped the route in a 95-yard interception, pick 6 to win it 30-17 Dowling, and the Maroons are now 6-0, ranked second in the state and undefeated through 6 games. Wow.
What a finish. And, you know, we expected to see a great football game tonight, and you saw 2 really good football teams go toe-to-toe, and not either defense wasn't really able to stop the other offense too many times tonight. And there are 2 dynamic offenses that will likely be playing in the postseason.
Well, a pick 6 with no time left seals the deal for Dowling. The Maroons were up by a touchdown, but Centennial, when 4th and goal, was going for it. They had to tie it up, and they couldn't do it, and the Maroons win it. The handshake line continues. What an exciting high school football game. You know, when you leave a stadium, Matt, and I've been doing this a while, and you're out of breath, that means it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good football game.
And, again, we're not on grass anymore. We didn't measure for a first down tonight. We all knew that. But, hey, hats off to Tom Wilson. Folks, stay tuned. We'll have our post-game show. John Scheidel will line up. We got to talk about getting some players on. And tell you what, there's some defenders out there, some offensive players. We've got a lot to choose from. We'll figure that out. Post-game show will begin after this timeout. Final score, Dowling Catholic. They've already turned the scoreboard off here. 30-17. Dowling wins it over Ankeny Centennial. We'll return with the post-game show alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale and John Scheidel on the sidelines. Stay tuned. We'll have interviews after the game following this 2-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
I am Father John Obrobe, working in the Diocese of Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Calling all ladies to spiritual warfare featuring Janet Williams in person from EWTN's Women of Grace. Saturday, November 11th at St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Des Moines. The day includes 3 talks, Holy Mass, Rosary, Continental Breakfast, and a special opportunity for prayer requests. Ticket prices start at $30. Visit iowacatholicradio.com for more information. And don't miss Spiritual Warfare with Janet Williams and Iowa Catholic Radio.
Connecting listeners to Christ.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Fridays at 9 a.m., Making It Personal on Iowa Catholic Radio, iowacatholicradio.com, and on demand on the Iowa Catholic Radio app. Connecting listeners with Christ.
And welcome back to Ankeny Stadium as Dowling fans celebrate here on the road with a 30-17 win over 7th-ranked Ankeny Centennial. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring, John Scheidel down on the field. We'll go to him with some interviews, but let's take a look at our game statistics tonight. I want to thank Jared Seifert and the Dowling coaching staff next to us who provided that here in the East Press Box here at Ankeny Stadium. Dowling with 25 first downs in the contest. Ankeny Centennial with 24. The Maroons rushed the ball for 246 yards. Centennial rushed the ball for 173. Dowling passed the ball for 92 yards. Centennial passed the ball for 108 yards. So total offense, Dowling ran 55 plays for 338 yards of total offense. Centennial ran 50 plays for 281 yards of total offense. Dowling averaging 6 yards a play, Centennial 5.5 yards a play. Both teams with the turnover in tonight's Centennial had 2 turnovers, the fumble and then the pick 6 that ended the ball game. Dowling was 4 of 9 in third down conversions. Centennial 5 of 10. Dowling 3 for 3 in fourth down conversions. and Centennial 2 out of 4 in fourth down conversions. Individually, for Dowling Catholic, quarterback Dante Cataldo, 7 out of 15 passing, and he threw for for 92 yards and 1 interception. Trey Wilson was the leading receiver for Dowling, 1 catch for 36 yards. Hank Brown, 2 catches for 16 yards. Ian Middleton, 1 catch for 16 yards. And Rashad Davis, 1 catch for 11 yards for Dowling Catholic, as Will Leifker and Curtis Horace also caught a pass tonight. Rashad Davis, 31 carries, 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns to lead Dowling on the ground. Quarterback Dante Cataldo, 5 carries for 40 yards. Zach Smith, 2 carries for 7 yards. And Ian Middleton, 1 carry for 2 yards. And you can. I'll give you some light here. Mr. Maindring, go right ahead.
All right, I'll read my chicken scratches here. Trenton Smith, these are the stats for Ankeny Centennial. Trenton Smith ends up the game with 10 of 16 for 108 yards. Eli Porter rushed 24 times for 133 yards. Braden Jackson 5 times for 31 yards. And J.J. Morgan had 2 rushes for 10 yards. On the receiving end, Trent Smith catches 4 passes for 55 yards. Braden Jackson 3 for 28. Lawson Langford 1 for 16. Max Snyder 1 for 17. And J.J. Morgan 1 for 11.
All right, those are some of the numbers again tonight as we go to here on our post-game show following Dowling's 30-17 win. The Maroons improve their record to 6-0 on the year. Ankeny Centennial falls to 3-3, and John Chido's in the mess of all that as Maroons with 338 yards of total offense. Ankeny 281. It was all Ankeny in the first quarter. They led 14-0 on a pair of Eli Porter touchdown runs of 3 and 23 yards. Dowling bounces back in the second quarter with a Rashad Davis 6-yard run. That was Dowling's only touchdown in the first half, of 6 yards, and it cut the lead to 14-7. And then Benazou with a 38-yard field goal increased the lead 17-7 for Centennial in the first half. And then Dowling scores on Andrew Schumacher's 25-yard field goal with no time left in the first half to cut the lead to 17-10. So Centennial led 17-10 at the end of the first half, but Dowling comes back with 2 second-half touchdowns by Rashad Davis and then Kenny James on a 95-yard pick 6. That's a wrap-up of scoring, and I see John Chido has the mosh pit going right in front of us. Johnny, take it away. Who you got?
I got Big Joe Fralak here, part of the offensive line. All you guys did a tremendous job, especially in that second half. You guys dominated the line of scrimmage, kept the drives alive. You guys converted 3 fourth-down conversions, I think. Big opportunity. Just talk about the line play tonight and what you saw and some of the adjustments you made there in the second half.
Well, I think we just dominated up front in the second half. We just had that tempo, and they couldn't keep up with us. You know, they were getting tired, and we were just pounding the rock, and they couldn't keep up.
Talk about your preparation this week as far as what you were going to see. You know, a 3-man front, 4-man front, and some of the switch-ups they did throughout the ballgame.
Yeah, we're practicing a lot of fronts throughout the week. You know, I thought we were well prepared to adjust if needed, but, you know, I think we handled everything well and did our jobs.
Matt or Mark?
Hey, Joe, congratulations on the win, and I know you're playing the left guard. What were some of the offensive adjustments at halftime from Coach Pollock and the rest of the coaching staff that you did in the second half?
Well, we just made some adjustments with our inside zone, and they really paid off. You know, we were pounding it down their throats. They couldn't stop us.
Say, Joe, the question here from Mr. Maynring is, you know, what's it like out there when you're blocking for Rashad and you don't know where he is, do you?
No, we don't. He's a really elusive back. You know, he could be – we got it called up, and he's going the whole opposite way. You know, you just got to be ready for the cutbacks. You know, always have a lane open.
Joe, talk about your coaches. You know, Casey Shelton and Andy Pollock. Are they a lot of fun to be around? Are they pushing you guys to get you better?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're definitely pushing us to our limits and, you know, making us the best we can be.
Well, congratulations on the win. Enjoy homecoming next week, but not too much. You have Urbandale before Southeast Polk. Stay healthy, young man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Great job.
Joe Fralak, one of the Dowling offensive linemen, actually left guard, and what a game he had as all those the big guys down in the trenches had tonight, Matt. I'll tell you what, that's tremendous. Joe's a 6'2", 270-pound senior. He was injured a little bit last year, off and on, but he popped in there and he plays left guard. And I think Johnny's got what they doing now. They're setting up for a.
You got Earl Hulse down there taking a picture.
Oh,
with
that's
with
what's
the
going
crew.
on.
Yeah, look at that offensive line.
So we're waiting for Johnny as he's waiting for head coach Tom Wilson, and they're going to celebrate this.
Yes,
final score, Dowling with the win tonight, 30-17. Maroons go to 6-0. But they had to do it the tough way. They had to come from behind, and a rare thing to trail at halftime. Johnny, you got head coach Tom Wilson following tonight's win. Take it away.
Coach, congratulations. These type of ball games are playoff ball games, and it was a dogfight the whole way, and you guys were able to establish a running game and just control that line of scrimmage in the second half, and then that last play of the game, Kenny James coming up with that big interception.
Huge play by Kenny, first off. We needed something, and, how many times do we have them third and long and a couple times fourth, and they convert. But just really proud of the resolve of our kids and how they worked and kept plugging away, and part of what we thought we could wear them down. And I didn't think we were going to get that chance the way the game started out. But really proud of our kids and happy that we could come out of here with a win.
Matt or Mark?
Well, Tom, the defense stepped up big, and they're down on the 1 or 2 yard line, closing seconds of the game. Kind of reminded me of the Northwest game where they did the same thing, and then you made them turn over on downs. But tonight you get the pick six to clinch the game. And the defense wasn't out there as long tonight because the offense had the ball a lot. You took care of business, at least early on in the third quarter.
Well, we did. We established the run, and, well, that's what we wanted to do all along. We really had to figure out what they were going to be in defensively. And, I think it was one time in the first half we didn't put points on the board, and that was the first drive. Then after that we were able to turn things up and really let Rashad try to wear him down and just mix in a pass or two.
Coach, this is one of those games where it shows you the value of each possession, doesn't it? I mean, there was only, how many possessions did you have? 5?
Well, I don't know. It didn't seem – I knew we were running a lot of clock, especially in the second half. But you're just trying to fight back, and the playbook didn't have to be very big because I stayed with some of the same plays all the time. But just thought our kids' effort was found fantastic and never quit believing.
No.
Well, they certainly did. And, Coach, I know you have Urbandale this week, and it's homecoming, but this is a big win, one you cherish. And it's always tough to win up here. You're going against the Hall of Famer, Jerry Pizzetti, and I know there's a lot of – between you two, there's a lot of football knowledge out there. But like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of plays being run because you're just trying to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
It's true. Both Coach Pizzetti and Ryan, I think they are great people and good for high school football in the state of Iowa. And it was a fun one. We'll remember this one.
No question. Coach, get some rest. Thanks for visiting with us.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Tom Wilson visiting with John Chido on the Dowling sideline. What a game it was. Had to be here to enjoy it. Wind and all on a very blustery night, but you know what? It got nice and cool, and what a game we saw. The fans here, the terrible towels. They break out terrible towels. And where's Jenny Cataldo? We didn't get one up here. She's handing them out. Dante's mom.
We're supposed to get these towels.
I know they'll get back to us, I'm sure. But Matt, this is what high school football is all about. The community's coming together. The Ankeny people, they came out great. Dowling fans, and we're going to do a little celebration at an establishment here after the game. And there'll be Centennial people there because we've been invited, and I look forward to that. But what a game. This is what high school football is about.
Nights like this, you're exactly right. Why do people come out and watch football games and watch these young men, go out there and do their thing, and the cheerleaders supporting their team on the sidelines? And it's just, it's an exciting thing. It's a community thing and involves so many people. I think, in a football game, there's so many people that impact what's going on in the field throughout the game. And I think that's what, makes it just a fun and exciting event.
Well, we want to thank everybody here at Ankeny Centennial High School, including their athletic director, Nate Lindgren, Blake Crickshank, the assistant AD, Marge Rasmussen, the athletic secretary. They do a great job. We're going to come back and recap, talk about next week, Dowling and Urbandale. Centennial is involved in action next week. They'll be playing Des Moines Roosevelt at Drake Stadium. It'll be Roosevelt's homecoming. That's their next game for Ankeny Centennial. We'll talk more about that and other games and maybe catch up with some other scores. I know we're trying to track some of those down as we know Valley got beat tonight. Waukee Northwest knocked off West Des Moines Valley. So we'll be back with more here on the postgame show. Final thoughts. This is Mark Hamadale for Matt Maindring and John Chido. We'll return after this last message here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
It's the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive. October is the month dedicated to pro-life, and Iowa Catholic Radio is celebrating all month long. Bring your donation of new diapers of any size to the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, 1355 50th Street, Suite 500 in West Des Moines, next to Intervisions. Wipes, thermometers, nail clippers, bath items, sleep sacks, and swaddles are also needed. Be part of the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive during the month of October, supporting Intervisions Healthcare.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, I'm Julie Carlson from St. Ambrose Cathedral in Des Moines, Iowa. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hey, we're back here at Ankeny Stadium. Final tonight, Dowling Catholic with the win, 30-17. Maroons trailed at halftime, 17-10, but Dowling with 3 touchdowns in the second half, 1 in the third quarter and 2 in the fourth quarter. The game ended on a Kenny James 95-yard pick six to close out scoring for Dowling Catholic. And I wonder if Kenny's out of gas. He's a track guy, isn't he?
No, that young man doesn't run out of gas. He is a bundle of energy. And just, and Coach talked about him, I think, in the pregame, what a joy he is to be around, because he does elevate everyone around him and just brings a certain fire and positive. And I think the thing is, it's such positive energy. Whenever you walk away from a conversation with Kenny James, you're smiling.
Well, Kenny sat out last week or two, because he was a game-time decision, didn't play. And then last week against Roosevelt did not play, and that's when Parker Pearson got involved, and Parker got the start the week before. So, Kenny, it's good to have him back. I know he was battling a groin injury and wanted him to go down because the game was over. He says, no, I'll take it for a 95-yard pick six. And that's when Ankeny shut the scoreboard off. That wasn't going to stay on long, and that's fine. Matt, you got to look at some other scores in Class 5A district football for Week 6.
You got an exciting one going over at Southeast Polk as Johnston has made a comeback, and it was 38-28. And now it's 38-35, Southeast Polk over Johnston. Going to be late in the fourth quarter. Ankeny is up on Cedar Rapids Prairie, 17-7. That one's at Cedar Rapids Prairie. And you mentioned this earlier. Waukee Northwest goes to Valley and beats Valley 31-28, improving their record to 4-2. And Valley drops to 1-5. I have not seen an Urbandale East score yet. Urbandale being the team that lines up next week against Dowling.
Yep, that'll be Dowling's homecoming opponent and Athletic Hall of Fame induction weekend. We'll have a lot of that. I know Ron Gray is going to join us, the Dowling golf coach, but he's arranging some of the reunions, and he's going to have some, I think it might be his class coming in, so we'll talk more about that. John Chido has made his way up here. Johnny, a little bit more steps than we've had in previous games up here at Ankeny Stadium on the visitor side, but what a sideline it was, what a game it was, and everybody trying to catch their breath, and you were in the thick of things, and game ends on a pick six. I haven't seen that too many in 40 years. I've only seen that twice.
Yeah, walk-off pick six. I mean, what a ball game. I mean, it was hard fought the whole way by both teams, and came down to the last play of the game, and they ran that fake buck sweep, and then the other back that came in motion, they tried to get him in space, and Kenny James, he came out of nowhere, made a great jump on that ball, and he was off to the races. There was no stopping him.
No, there wasn't.
He jumped that route, and he could see it develop right in front of him. And, again, and Trenton had made a couple of those throws all the way across the field throughout the game. And did it again, and this time it cost him. As Kenny James says, I've seen this before.
Yeah, that was just a heck of a play by him. And that's a tough position for a corner, because if you don't time that and jump that route, it could go the other way in a second, but it's just a great play by him. I can't say enough.
Well, what a game it was in general. Both teams' offenses dominated. Ankeny Centennial comes out. They have Dowling down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and they were looking for more. And then the Dowling defense, Johnny, as you saw, settled in, held them to a field goal the rest of the second quarter, and shut them out. the rest of the game. So that was just amazing with the Dowling defense, how they adjusted for the first quarter and how they ended the game was two different tales.
Well, we were talking, the talk on the sideline was you have to shut down Isaiah Porter. I mean, he was just dominating with the running game, with his speed, getting on the edge and even up at the middle, and not so Dowling stopped paying attention to all the motion and this and that, and they had to shut him down first. And he, like I think we talked about it earlier, late in that drive, that he wasn't part of the offense until they got that first down, and then brought him back in the equation, and that's where it gets a little nerve-wracking if you're the Dowling defense, because now they're in their comfort zone. Centennial's in their comfort zone. They're not behind the chains. They don't have to throw the ball much, and then Kenny James comes up with that play.
Another big play in the game is that fumble, and who came up
Schmidt.
with that again? Schmidt came up with that fumble recovery
Zach Schmidt,
because nothing had stopped Dowling offense in that second half, and they took that drive and drove the whole field, throw the interception in the end zone, but then turn around and get it right back 3 plays later was a big deal.
That's a huge momentum change, because you're deflated with the deflected ball there and the turnover, and then like Matt said, 2 minutes later the Dowling's defense comes up with the big play, and then they're able to capitalize on it. And they found that the numbers there when they were calling, like Matt said, they're calling the strength to the wide side of the field, and you have 4-on-4, and then when you throw Dante Cataldo in there with the QB run game, now you got 5-on-4, and you have to cover both him and Rashad, and that makes it tough. And you have to credit the offensive line and being able to take control of that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go over at Southeast Polk. 3-point lead for the defending state champion Southeast Polk Rams, 38-35 over Johnson. A team Dowling doesn't face is Johnson, but the Maroons do face Southeast Polk 2 weeks from tonight. But, John, I'm looking back at the score sheet. Cahill intercepts Dante Cataldo in the end zone for Centennial. Centennial gets it on their own 10-yard line. A penalty against Dowling on first down moves the ball up to the 19. Porter gets a run for 6. The second play they had, fumble recovery by Zach Schmidt for Dowling, and then the Maroons go 4 plays, 27 yards, and score. And that's where momentum changed. That's where confidence changed. The defense got a lot of life in them, and they pitched the shutout the second half.
And, it's great when you're able to go hurry up and you go bingo, which means you're calling the same play. You're not letting the defense reset and call their strength to a different side. Dowling had the numbers, and they just kept going and hurry up and on the ball. And like I said, they didn't let Ankeny Centennial adjust to it. And the offensive line and Rashad, the way he runs, he has a step to the outside, but everything is still with his feet moving, going north and south. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, we haven't talked enough about him at the end of the night here. What do you have, 183 yards?
Yeah,
like you said, Mark.
And he struggled in the first half.
Yeah, but boy, he can make something out of nothing.
Oh.
And for as light as he is, he's a light runner, but he just finishes powerfully forward with every run, and that's what's fun to watch about him. Is he's got the power when he needs it, but he's also got that quick little patter of the feet, and he can go.
And his feet always is moving, which is great to see.
They are, and he doesn't overrun his offensive line. He waits for them, and then he'll like door number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He kind of reads, and then he goes. He can explode. I admire that. I haven't seen a back do that where they wait. They're patient enough to wait for their offensive line. Rashad does that.
That's a great point by you, Mark, because when they run that power, you're waiting. You have to have that patience to let that guard pull to the play side, that backside guard to pull to the play side and get up onto that linebacker. If you're back and you go too quick and you get there before that pulling guard, it just makes a big mosh pit in the middle there, and it doesn't create that running lane. So his patience and then being able to see it and then react quickly is what makes him so explosive.
It certainly does. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming up to Ankeny and visiting with us. I know there'll be a celebration at a certain establishment afterwards. I don't know if you're going to that, Mr. Chido. You probably have something going on tomorrow morning, like at 5 a.m.
We have practice at 8 o'clock.
So I knew something was
we
up,
have a big game this Tuesday.
Yeah, you do. And you're undefeated, 4-0, right?
We don't want to talk about records right now.
Okay, of course. 8th grade still undefeated.
It's always next game.
That's right.
It's the next game that matters.
Big win at Ames. Came from behind, this guy. Came from behind and won at Ames on Tuesday night. And where are you at Tuesday? This Tuesday?
We're at Waukee Northwest.
Okay, on the road, as usual, it seems like. Dowling 8th graders. This guy's doing a pretty good job. Matt, thank you. Anything you want to mention about the school? What's going on there?
Homecoming, and it's all about. I think road trip is the theme for the week. So whenever we do anything, there's always some kind of pajama day. Then there's always some kind of Western day.
Where's the road trip to?
Well, the road trip's home. It's a homecoming, so it's a road trip for homecoming.
Speaking of which,
yes,
Mr. Chada, did they get on the field at all? The class of '91 at Dowling Catholic was here, and he's in that class. Coach Cataldo was also in that class. Dante's dad, Jimmy.
They were sitting right outside the door here. So,
they didn't bang on the door,
I was able to catch up with a lot of those guys. It's nice to see. John Fritzel, I talked to him for a while. He played basketball at Iowa with Chris Street.
Right.
Heck of a basketball player. There wasn't a shot that John didn't like. I mean, but he could shoot lights out. And then
I remember calling the games. Yeah, you're right.
Mike Mahoney, good seeing him.
Ex-Cub.
It's nice to know a guy that could hit a home run in Wrigley Field for the Chicago Cubs. But
Cardinals and Cubs. Yeah, he was on both teams. And yeah, you had quite a class there.
Nick Faggio and Scott O'Brien and
don't forget Kraber.
Kraber, who never had air in his helmet back then in those bike helmets, but I still think he holds the records for rushing yards if they still had that, because I think he also holds a record for never losing a yard. He always was moving forward.
Pat was one of the taller running backs Dowling had, and he didn't lose very many yards. And you forgot our rival, Faz. You didn't call him out.
He was one of their tougher linebackers. Him and Scott O'Brien we ran a 5-2 defense, the toughest middle linebackers that you could have. And then
little reunion in the parking lot today.
Funny to mention Eric Campbell. So he played defensive end, and I'll never forget this. Real quick, we're on the practice field, and he had to run around the practice field holding a tackling dummy, yelling VCR, veer, counter, reverse, because he was that backside end, and every time he got sucked in, he didn't stay at home.
Coach Marr reminded him of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it was I think it was Coach Graz, the defensive coordinator back then, but Coach Marr, what a great guy, great coaching staff that was.
And now Coach Campbell's charging you $50 for a beer at the Iowa State Fair, or something like that.
We were talking about how Ankeny Centennial was getting to the outside, getting that edge. So I came up and we're talking to those guys at halftime. I go, they need your VCR.
That's funny.
They need to get that halftime speech.
Well, it must have worked. But that's off to that class, 91.
And I believe getting recognized next week during homecoming is the first graduating class from the new Dowling Catholic High School.
Yes.
So when
Ron Gray's, we're going to have him on at halftime. He's going to talk all about that.
72?
Yeah, it would have been 72. That was his first graduating class.
Yeah, they started in 72, graduated. I don't know.
Right. But,
a little before my time.
Yeah, that's the first year out at what we know as
current
Dowling.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, well, back then it was the new Dowling.
That group will be recognized. It's a final at Southeast Polk. They win 38-35.
Okay, so the Rams still undefeated, going into Week 7, as is Dowling, and Maroons and Rams got to win next week, and they face each other in 2 weeks. We'll be there. Brand new stadium. Saw that yesterday at the cross-country meet. Beautiful stadium. So we'll enjoy it. Johnny, thanks for all you do. Enjoy your reunion weekend, and practice tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. Matt, thank you. We'll talk to you. Have a good homecoming week.
You bet. Always fun.
It is. All right, that'll wrap up our broadcast tonight from Ankeny Stadium. Thanks to Brady Grimm back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios for keeping us plugged in all night. And, of course, the coaches, Ankeny Centennial Jaguars co-head coaches Jerry and Ryan Pizzetti. For Coach Jerry Pizzetti, 63 years. He's got the career-high wins, and congratulations to him and the Centennial Jaguars. What a year they have. They're still in the playoffs. The record now falls to 3-3. Nate Lindgren, Blake Cruikshank, and Marge Rasmussen from the Ankeny Athletic Office. Appreciate all their work, and our thanks to Dowling Catholic head coach Tom Wilson for being our guest. Pre-game, halftime, and post-game. Thanks for all Coach Wilson does. And, of course, Colleen Webb, Jared Herring back in the athletic office. Next week, Dowling Catholic will be at home for homecoming against Urbandale. Kickoff at 7 o'clock from Valley Stadium. For Centennial, they're on the road at Des Moines Roosevelt. That game we played at Drake Stadium. 7 o'clock kickoff, Jaguars and Rough Riders. And it'll be Roosevelt's homecoming at Drake Stadium. And our thanks to Tim Ives, the Dowling cross-country coach, girls and boys, for having him on at halftime. Did a great job. Appreciate what he does. 16th year as a boys coach, first year as a girls head coach. Thanks to Tim Ives, the defending state champs in boys cross country. Appreciate all that. So for everybody involved, for the final time tonight, Dowling Catholic with 3 touchdowns in the second half, come from behind and defeat Ankeny Centennial by the score of 30-17. Maroons are now 6-0, ranked second in Class 5A. Centennial drops to 3-3, ranked 7th in Class 5A. For Brady Grimm, this is Mark Amadale for Matt Mandring and John Chadle saying good night and so long from Ankeny Stadium. Wishing you all a safe and blessed, faith-filled weekend.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Klein Electric, Catholic United Financial, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio.